Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Destination restoration. Yeah, Detroit. Destination restoration. Yeah, it's our time. Can you feel the elevation? We on a mission on vacation. Time to create that separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination. Together all the time together. It's us against the world, it don't get no better. We turned it around, that was the beginning. Coming for the crown, you know we winning. Time to put in the work, I'm about to go berserk. Taking our prisoners, it's my time. Yeah, I know that it hurts. Saying break out the church, you don't wanna see me in my prime. The mission is to ring, we're caught in everything. In the city, supporting that dream. Vision new I never seen, we deserve to be king. It's all or nothing, no in between. The clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Now the clock is ticking and I hope you're listening. Don't touch me cause I'm sizzling. Physicality is tipping and mentality is menacing. The dog pound body's crippling. Feel the elevation. We on a mission on vacation. Time to create that separation. Championships and motivation. 313 need no explanation. Miss me with all that conversation. We ready for that confrontation. Counting down to our destination. The final destination.
What up, though? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show with the Boss. Hope everybody is having a great Tuesday night so far. Tonight, guys, we have the band back together. We are joined by Pistons OG, YouTube creator Everything King, and Clutch Points writer for the Detroit Pistons, Eric Vincent, aka Vinny. And of course, y'all know the Boss, and I'm Downtown Deuce. And we are back for a special Pistons off night episode. So it's been a little minute. So how's everybody feeling?
I feel great.
Feels great to be a Pistons fan.
Don't it?
Great time, man. Though? Great energy, great momentum going. We got a great show for y'all. Shout out to everybody checking us out right now, man. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely. Shout out to everybody who's here. We see y'all in the chat. We appreciate y'all showing up, man. We got a jam-packed episode for you guys. A lot to talk about with this Pistons team right now. So we're going to get to some of the main things that are on a lot of people's minds. So make sure you guys chime in the comments and be part of the conversation with us. So, y'all, we got a lot to get to. First of all, what a start to the season for our Pistons, man. Let's just start there. Let's just give a major shout out to our Pistons. You know, the players, coaching staff, everybody who plays a part. 15-2 record, best start in 2 decades, on the verge of setting the franchise record for the most consecutive wins with 14, all while dealing with injuries. So a lot to be happy about right now as a Pistons fan. And guys, we all remember the last Pistons championship in 04. We remember the Bad Boys back-to-back championships in 89, 90. So let me just ask you guys one by one. How are y'all feeling or just enjoying this current Pistons team in the run that they're on right now? I'll start with you, Boss.
I mean, being a Detroit fan, I'm waiting for like the rug to be pulled underneath. Like, I'm like, the streak has been awesome, but I keep waiting and waiting and waiting when I should be appreciating what's going on. Yeah. But I am, and I'm just really excited about them. That's just their depth is just really impressing me. I know that our schedule might seem easy to others, but you know, we had a lot of players out. We're also dealing with a lot of new players this season, you know, but I feel really good. And I think just a big testament has just been the coaching staff. Like, I think JB and Trajan have just really helped turn this team around.
Facts. That's a fact. King, holla at me, dog.
Man, just a great start. Didn't expect it to, you know, turn out the way that it's been. I knew we would get off to a faster start than last season, but no one expected this type of streak, man. This is a beautiful thing. And, you know, like Boss said, we got some guys that's been out. We got some young guys. So to see these guys be able to figure it out this early, right, while you're adding guys back, it's beautiful.
Yeah. What you got, Ivey?
It's beautiful, man. It really is. It's cool to see this organization kind of clicking on all levels. You know, the front office doing what they need to do to make sure, you know, all the, you know, right pieces are in place. To me, JB Biggerstaff, I think, is shown to be like the MVP of this entire organization right now, because we done seen him play without Cade, and as long as JB is at the helm with the clipboard, things are still moving and working in accordance. So, and then obviously, like you just said, you know, the players and the coaches, or the players, you know, stepping up, taking that next step together. It shows that a lot of the things that they spoke about in the offseason is actually real and can be valuable in, you know, NBA basketball. Having a foundation, having that chemistry. You know, there's another Detroit sports team that gives a lot of lip service, and it doesn't really give us a whole lot of reward. So it feels good to see it work for the Pistons, and they actually back it up with what they say, unlike that other team who we'll talk about later. But yes.
Not to get too far, of course, but what team may you ever be speaking of, Ivey?
Forward of the field. Shout out Gridiron. No shade. Shout out Gridiron. That's my dog, but I'm off the Lions right now, bro. I'm done.
He ain't got it right over his shoulder.
Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. I'm checked out. After that last, even in a win, I'm checked out. I'm done with them. This is not a Super Bowl ready team at all.
I feel it. Boss said the same thing last night. Like, she was kind of saying last night's Pistons game kind of felt like the Lions game, whereas it was a lot closer than it should have been. A lot more anxiety than it should have been.
Yeah.
Right. Except you can tolerate what the Pistons gave you, unfortunately. At least they at least took the accountability to acknowledge it. I had to hear Dan Campbell, "You guys fought, man. Shut up, bro. I ain't trying to hear that right now. Like, stop.
Oh, man. Well, that was my part for bringing it up. Let me go ahead and move to a lighter note. But no, I agree with you, bro. I agree with you, man. King, anything else on that, bro?
Nah, man.
Okay. I see you over there stirring, so I just had to double check. All right, we'll leave it there. So let's start here, guys, as far as with our Pistons. Let's talk win streak first, man. The Pistons, as we all know, have won 13 straight games, and they're looking to add more victims to their list in the coming days and possibly weeks, depending on how things go. So the first thing I want to start with, guys, when you look at the next 10 games on the schedule, right? How long do you think this Pistons winning streak could possibly stretch to? Currently at 13. I heard some fans saying it'd be crazy if we won 28 straight the same way we lost 28 straight. But, you know, how far do you think we can actually go with this current win streak? And I'll leave it up here for a second if you guys want to look at it. Let's start with Boss. Boss, how far do you think we can go? Just from looking at the schedule, what do you think?
Gosh, I mean, it's hard because I've been anticipating a loss, but with the Heat, they're kind of heating up, but I still think we can take care of them with the perimeter shooting. The scariest one on this is the Trailblazers, just the way that they've been rolling for me. That's the scariest one. Other than that, these are all teams that we can beat. It's just more so, you know, we can't beat them the way we played yesterday,
right?
But we can beat them when we look cleaner and don't take our foot off the gas. So I think the Trailblazers are the scariest, but they're all going to be good matchups.
Yeah. What you think, King?
For me, it's Milwaukee. I don't know the extent of Giannis, his injury, but if he comes back in one of those two games, I definitely would have a check mark on one of those two games where we would be at jeopardy. Obviously, they would most likely try to get that revenge against us for beating them the way we did the other day. So,
facts.
Yeah.
Okay. Even what you got, bro?
Yeah, I agree with both of them. I think they can close out November with, you know, being undefeated. I do think Miami's going to give them a tough run for their money on the road. You know, exposure teams that are coached, you know, they're not laying down for anybody. Norman Powell's playing really good basketball right now. I love the big man that they have on their front court that plays with Bam. They have a really good foundation over there in Miami. That's not going to be a lay-down game. But I think JB will have them ready for that as well. Yeah, I agree with King. I think depending on where Giannis is with that injury, he's still tough for the Pistons. You know, when he's healthy and when he's, you know, right and he has, you know, pieces around him functioning, they're always going to be a tough task for him. So, again, I think if they close out November, I think that could be huge for him. It would be funny if they did have that motivation of, hey, we lost 28 straight, let's go win 28 straight. You know, whatever's working for them, let's keep it going. But, yeah, I think they can close out November undefeated, and we'll see what they do with those first few games at the start because, yeah, December's not going to be easy beginning at all.
Facts for sure. That's when it gets a little tougher. I'm kind of with you guys. I think even if they can't close it out as well, as far as closing out November, the two that I worry about were those same two, Miami and Milwaukee. Miami's won 5 straight. So they definitely are playing better basketball right now. I still think we're a better team, but I think the Pistons are going to get that game for Duncan Robinson. I think that's going to be it's going to be kind of a revenge game for him going back to Miami. I think it's in Miami, right? Let me double check. Is it in Miami, I think?
Yeah.
So I think the Pistons are going to win that game for him. The Bucks, the way Giannis is able to draw fouls and get fouls and things like that, if he's playing, regardless of how good, defense guys like Stu plays or JD play, I could just see him getting a ton of foul calls and slowing the game down and not letting us run where we want to and stuff like that. So I still think we'll win both of those games. I think those are the 2 threats though. So, but I definitely think they can approach 20.
With Giannis's injury, I believe his comeback date would be that Saturday game. So we might take that first game from them. But also, was it last season that Giannis got ejected from a game against us?
Well, Stu got ejected
but Giannis
for pulling on Giannis's jersey.
Didn't he? Because didn't he go sit in the stands?
Was that against us?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I don't know if it was last. So, but we still lost against them. But the way that Jalen Duren is attacking the rim right now, Giannis is Giannis. He's going to be hard to stop. He's hurt. But I feel like he's at least in a better position to create some offense for us than he was last year when we played them. Mm-hmm. So, but I think that Saturday would be his return day, if anything. So I think that Wednesday game, we would still be without him.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, Giannis does what Pascal Siakam tries to do on a constant basis, where he just crashes into people. And, granted, Giannis does the same thing, but he's a way better finisher, and he can actually play defense, and he's not as dramatic as Siakam is. I'm so happy the Pistons were able to pull that out because I cannot stand the way the Siakam plays basketball. But, yeah, Giannis has been a thorn in their side, since he's emerged as this elite MVP caliber player. But you see other guys kind of taking a step forward. Now with Stu being healthy, if he can stay in the whole game, if Duren can stay in the whole game, Asar giving some weak side protection on the glass as well. It's going to be a dogfight. Like, I like the matchup that they're going to have against Milwaukee because I don't think they're very talented from top to bottom, but having a guy like Giannis who's a floor raiser and a ceiling raiser is going to be a dogfight for him in the division for sure.
For sure. I definitely feel that way, especially since, we haven't beaten him in a while. So I'm sure they're probably out to try to prove that was a fluke, that last game. You know what I'm saying? So definitely going to think that's going to be a tough game. Anything else with that, King?
Yeah, and I totally agree with what Eric was saying. My caution is with Giannis attacking the basket. Can he find a way to get Duren into foul trouble? Duren has been going up against certain bigs, but none of them are offense heavy or attack heavy like a Giannis. A lot of them like to stretch the floor from 3-point line. Miles Turner. Some of these other guys are not like Giannis. So, and the refs tend to give him those whistles. So that'll be interesting.
It'd be cool to see how Paul Reed does too if he gets an opportunity like Bosh just threw on the screen because he's been playing much better. He's bigger and stronger this year. It's not a lot of guys that are built like Giannis, but he's definitely more equipped this year to be able to bang with some of those big men in the East for sure. So that'll be interesting to see how he does if he gets a chance to play.
Yeah. I think that he just gets under his skin of some guys because they don't expect him to he's, full court pressure, his handsy. I think having him helps with the load of foul trouble.
For sure. Just have more fouls. Yeah.
Bigs, even if we bring Tolu in, and I've mentioned this before, using Tolu as someone's like, you know what, you go get the fouls, like you beat them down. So I think we have at least better bigs than we did last year to handle that job.
I agree. Anything else on that, fellas?
I think we got it covered.
Let's move it on. Along. So we talked about the current streak, but I think that personally, I think the Pistons potentially have a chance to make some more history with the longest winning streak in Pistons history. It's a long shot, long way to go, looking ahead, but that's something I was thinking about. The Pistons' all-time record for regular season wins stands at 64, and that was when they finished 64-18. That was in 2006 when Flip Saunders took over as head coach. The year after we went to the finals and lost to the Spurs. Tragic city here for me still just thinking about it. Probably same thing for you guys. But when I first brought this up, the Pistons were 11-2 at the time. Me and Boss were talking about it last week, and they were 11-2. I was like, just kind of looking at how things were going and where they were playing. And now they're 15-2 and counting. So in order for them to get to 65 wins, they would have to go 50-15 the rest of the way. 50-15 would be the number to get to. And they're now as healthy as they have been in a long time. So I'm going to ask you guys, are you guys taking the over or under on the Pistons winning 65 games this season and eclipsing the all-time franchise record for regular season wins? I'll start with you, boss.
I take 64 wins. I take the equal. I don't
on the nose.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that too today. Like we only have 2 losses, so that's a great start. And the second half of our season is going to be against tougher teams, Western Conference team like the Nuggets, the Thunder, the Lakers, like just teams that give us problems, give everyone problems. But the way that we've been responding to things and figuring things out, like I don't see us going on losing streaks. Like I don't see us losing more than 2 games in a row at max. So I would say 64 is where I'm at. So I guess the under if we're going 65.
So we'll go 64 since that's the number they have to get to tie.
Yeah, and I would say, and that's, I started the season saying 50 was hopeful. And so I'm kind of adjusting that just to the way I've seen them play and how they've responded to certain things. But I also, we have, not that we've had an easy schedule, but it has been easier. We haven't matched up with the true healthy big team, like, in the East, even the Knicks yet, so that's what I would need to see from them. But I would say like, that's not out of reach, 64.
I don't either. What you got, King?
I'm hovering somewhere around between 52 to 58 range. That's where I'm at, somewhere up in there. I think teams are going to get better this season. After the trade deadline, teams are also going to improve. So I don't think we're going to make too many moves during the trade deadline. So I think us in some new matchups against some teams might catch us by surprise. There's going to be a lot of movement this season. Yeah. I think we end up somewhere around that range.
You having to change your heart from your 60-win tweet?
Oh, I always put the optimistic tweet out there. But yeah.
What you got, Ivey?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the under. I think to start the season, I thought they should be aiming for between 45 and 50 wins. I definitely didn't think they'd be as high as they are. I definitely didn't expect this streak. And now adjusting to it and where they are now, I still say kind of like, Boss was talking about, I think the schedule is going to be a lot tougher. And knowing where the regular season is, I think for a young team, it's easier to kind of get things rolling early than it is to maintain late in the season because, they've already had a lot of injuries to start the year. It's likely, not I want to say likely because, knock on wood, I'm not wishing injury, but It is very possible that it could still pile up, towards the end of the season again. So, this is a core that hasn't played a lot of time together. This is still a team that's still figuring out, the best rotations and pieces that they have. Like right now, they're still running a 12-man rotation. So we don't really know what they're going to look like, as the season goes on. All we know is that they're playing hard and they're sticking to their identity. Whether that gets them to 60 wins or not is, up in air. But if I were to put money on it, I would probably lean a little bit lower, still probably around the 55 range, which is still a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. But yeah, 60 for a young team, like we see 60+ teams like Golden State, 2016 days, or like even OKC last year, teams that are established and have momentum and continuity already. They're still trying to gel and put that together. So I don't know if I would bet on that right away out the gate for them this year.
Okay. I think those are all fair assessments. I've kind of had a change of heart a little bit. Because I'm kind of like this is the season to prove everybody wrong on so many levels. And it seemed like they had that same mentality. But I think about teams that have that many wins, what happens in the playoffs? Even just as early as last year, the Cavs, they had 60+ wins. And we know how that played out. A lot of teams, even when we were winning, when we won our championship in 2004, we won 54 games that year.
Right.
And then when we lost in 2006, this same year when they won 64, they lost in the conference finals. They didn't get to the finals. So this team seems to be focused on trying to win a championship, which we'll talk about later. And I think in order to do that, you just got to be steady. You got to be steady all year. And one more thing as far as that for me is that I think there are going to be games they should win that they'll probably lose. Like I think last night we saw, as young teams do at times, kind of let the foot off the gas a little bit and don't take care of business. There's going to be some teams who are more equipped. If you allow them that opening in the door, they're going to take advantage of it. We know that Pacers are depleted right now, so there's only so much they could do. Towards the end of the game, we're still fresh because we're deep. But better teams are going to take advantage of that. So I think there may be a couple games in there where we kind of let our foot off the pedal and kind of have some heartbreak games. So I think that'll be what prevents them from getting there. I see like 55 to 60 at this point will be good for this team.
Yeah, that's a fair range for him. That's a fair range for him. Again, I think knowing where they're at, I think Trajan kind of even talked to it to an extent. He kind of hinted at the idea of sacrificing some wins to find out what the true identity is of this core.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't think they're looking at it like it's a race to however many regular season wins. Obviously, you're not going into a game trying to lose, but I feel like they have bigger goals than just trying to check off those regular season X's and O's. And again, as of right now, they're heading in a great direction. You know, we're answering a lot of questions. You're seeing a lot of young guys take a step forward. You're seeing how great Cade can be, how dynamic JB is as a coach. And obviously, Jaden Ivey coming back, who we'll talk about in a little bit. We're just seeing things kind of take shape in a little, more concrete direction for him. Again, if it gets to 60, in that direction, cool. But I feel like what they're aiming for is a little bit higher, which is a good thing for them.
Right. And we know what the main goal is. Yeah, that's all I got on that, guys. We can move on to our next topic. We see y'all in the comments too. Keep it coming. Keep it coming for sure. Go ahead, boss.
In the comments, I've been writing down your questions if they're not necessarily related to what we're talking about right now, but we will get to them. So keep asking.
Yeah, for sure. We got y'all in mind. All right, guys. So next topic. We talked about, why the Pistons may not strive to hit that mark this year, but let's talk about their ceiling now. So a few weeks ago, I had said to boss that I thought the Pistons could make the Eastern Conference Finals. And the more I see from this team, the more that's becoming more of an expectation. I know it's ambitious, but just the way they're playing and with the talent they have and the depth they have, I have them reaching the Eastern Conference Finals and maybe beyond. But I want to ask you guys, what do you guys think the Pistons ceiling is this year beyond the regular season? I'll start with you, E.
I think that has to be it at this point. The Pistons have shown since last year, even going back to like the Monty Williams era, like people look at the number of wins and losses that they had and thought they were just getting mobbed by 50. There were a lot of games where they were close and within range to win, just like you're seeing right now. But the difference is they're closing these games out and they're figuring a way to, not make those same young team mistakes. So knowing that they're able to clean that up, compete with everybody, they just had the one blowout against the Cavs earlier this year. Had a New York Knicks blowout early in the season as well, and they still clean things up. So at this point, I feel like the ECF should be what they're looking at. I think to me, I think they're well capable of making it out of the ECF. I feel like there's not a lot of teams right now in the Eastern Conference that are really blowing me away. Like I just watched the Knicks struggle against the Mavericks without AD, Kyrie, and Cooper Flag. I'm just not sold on them. I'm not sold on the Cavaliers. I still think their front court is kind of soft in terms of how they rebound and control the glass. I feel like the Pistons match up well with a lot of teams, especially in the East. We'll talk about the West, another time. But based on the East alone, I think they match up well with everybody, and their ceiling and their expectations should be making it out, based on what's in front of them.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. What you got, King?
Due to the emergence of certain players, especially Jalen during the season, Ivey coming back and looking like he's on his way to being back to where he was. I'm definitely in the Eastern Conference Finals bag. I think the Pistons can be anybody in the Eastern Conference. Obviously, it's only about a good 2 or 3 teams that are competitive enough to go up against us. So this is the clear path, and this is the time right now to take your shot. Don't be like the Detroit Lions. Take your window while it's open.
Tell them again. Say it again, bro. Say it again.
One more time.
Take that window while it's open.
What you got, boss, on that front?
Yeah, Eastern Conference Finals is where I'm at. And that was my optimistic outlook to start the season, kind of like you said. And now I think we can do it for sure. I think the only thing would just be playoff experience, because we had a taste, but we did have a taste of it last year, which is good. Playing the same team over and over and over again. We got to 6 games, we got deep, we got close. So that at least is helpful. And we have brought in some vets that have that experience as well. But I'm just curious to see, our starting lineup is going to be different in a month. It's going to be different the second half of the season. I'm just, like King said, the emergence of certain players has really put me there. But just seeing how they do the second half of the season, Eastern Conference Finals is where it's at for sure, I think. But I can see us doing the finals, especially if we're looking really clean and really, really nice and put together, because, again, this win streak has been possible without consistency in terms of who's playing. So once we get that settled in, I think that even the finals is very possible.
It's funny, too, because Vincent Goodwill just dropped his full interview with Cade today. And that was what Cade said. He said, we're trying to get to the finals and win in finals. He didn't just say get there. He said, we're trying to get there and win. So their expectation level has increased for sure. And for me, like, I always go back to what Coach Bickerstaff said. He said it religiously, but he said a lot of teams don't want to go to the places that our guys are willing to go.
Yeah.
In playoff series, that matters. You got to play the same guys over and over. It ain't like, oh, I got a bad night. Okay, we're going to a different city next night. Like, you playing the same guys over and over again, they can frustrate you. They can intimidate you. It's a lot of things that go into it. So to hear him say that, like, we're willing to do whatever it takes to win, whatever it takes to win, and a lot of teams and players don't have that mindset. And then the depth piece, which also plays a part in the playoffs as well, because your stars are not always going to show up every night. Who's going to be that guy to show up? The Pistons got a lot of guys that can be that guy on any given night. So that's why I'm with you guys. I think they can beat anybody in any. I don't think any team can confidently say they can beat us 4 times out of 7 if they're being honest. So that's where I'm at with that. Any further thoughts on that, y'all?
Yeah, I just want to say this, man. Just think about that finals with the Pistons and the OKC. That would be just the comparison of players alone would be so interesting. I think that's the move for the NBA right there, because when you look at the Western Conference right now, you got a lot of unhappy players, a lot of injured players, a lot of older players that can't stay on the court.
Right.
The youth movement plus the matchups, perfect finals.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Me and Boss just talked about that we were talking about the same thing, bro. I got to shout out Divine because I gave him his own segment because he was the first one I ever heard say OKC East, or the Detroit Pistons. But yeah, like when you look at player per player, just up and down the roster, the similarities, man, is crazy. Like, you got your star in Cade, you got Shea, you got Jaden Ivey, you got Jalen Williams, right? You got Lou Dort, who's a stopper. You got Asar, who's a stopper, right? And then you got Chet, and you got JD, who's emerging. You got Stu, and then you got Hartenstein, the anchor of this culture set. It's like, and that's just the starters. You got the bench with Casey Wallace and Dennis Jenkins. Like, it's just so many guys. You can go down the list and see so many similarities, like King was saying. So I think the way that they're built is how we are building. And I think, we saw it in those 2 teams in the playoffs last year, the Pacers and the Thunder. That went the distance because they were built similarly. They both had star players, but they were also both deep. They had guys step up in different games. So I think it's going to be kind of like the Spider-Man meme, by looking in the mirror like, wow, y'all look a lot like us. Getting there, even.
Yeah, I just think their identity is conducive to playoff basketball. Like, you need to be able to be physical. You need to be able to, hit the glass, not just spam threes all game. Like, you see that in the regular season, and, teams get hot, teams get cold. They live and die by that. But the Pistons, what I love so much about their style is they don't conform to what everybody else is doing. They like to play inside out rather outside in, and it works for them tremendously. And again, assuming that they stay healthy, it's conducive for playoff basketball. They're preparing for it now through the regular season. Again, I want to see how Ivey develops, because I still think they're going to need that, number 2 proven scorer in the postseason just to kind of take some extra pressure off of Cade. I don't know if Duren would be that consistently, but they're heading into the direction to find out, and I'm really excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah, that's a fact. Anything else on that, y'all? I think we all agree on that one.
I just think that healthy Nuggets beat the OKC this year. That's what I think.
Yeah, they almost beat them last year when they were depleted.
7
If
games.
Aaron Gordon don't get hurt, I know you know this, Boss. You live in Denver, so I know you know this. But chat, if Aaron Gordon don't get hurt in that series, the Nuggets probably on their way to moving on. So yeah. I agree with that for sure.
I would rather have the OKC with the match. I would rather face them in the finals than the Nuggets.
I would too. I feel like we have a better chance shutting down the Thunder star than we do shutting down the Nuggets star.
Yeah.
Jokic is he's just on the planet right now. So yeah, I agree. So no Nuggets. Hopefully we get the Thunder. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move it on to our next topic. And this is considering the backcourt, the suddenly crowded backcourt that we now have. We have, if not the deepest, one of the deepest teams in the league already, but a lot of people feel that the Pistons are a little bit too deep at the guard position. So do any of you guys feel the Pistons have a logjam in their backcourt? And if so, what would you say is a possible solution to that? And this time I'm coming to you first, King. What are your thoughts on the Pistons, the way the roster constructed, how the backcourt is kind of looking? What do you think?
I think we get some type of relief around the trade deadline if we make some type of small move. You probably package some guys up like a Sasser and, try to get some type of relief back there. Obviously, when you look at it, you got Cade and Ivey, but when you start to look at the Karis LeVert situation, the Dennis Jenkins situation. Dennis didn't play in the second half yesterday, and Twitter almost exploded.
I was a part of it. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, you can't keep them off the court. You know what I'm saying? So you can't keep none of these guys off the court.
That's the hard part.
I mean, look what Karis did. You know, it's a great problem to have. I think some of the stragglers at the end of the bench eventually get moved out the way to create some space. But yeah, I think until we make a move, if it's a small move or not, I think we're just going to be seeing different rotations based on different matchups.
So what you're saying is Coach Bickerstaff gonna have his hands full all season, pretty much. Okay, what you got, boss?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we are a little too deep. I tried to come up with a 10-man lineup without breaking my own heart today, and I couldn't do it. 10-man rotation. I was like, no. Who would you play? Who would you not? You know. But for me, I think they're just still figuring out lineups right now. So I wouldn't use the word logjam. I just use the word, like some flexibility. They're just figuring it out, and it's going to take a little bit to do that. And then I think we'll have a clearer picture of what works and what doesn't, and where we can move guys, what moves we would make, and everything. So right now I'm just enjoying the fact that we have so much depth. And I see some comments, LeVert was signed to be traded. Like, LeVert is always who people want to go, but he was our second scorer yesterday. But also, like, Danis would have really pulled it out too, because what he did in 7 minutes was incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good problem. But I agree with King. I think that it'll just become clearer, and I think that's why we're gonna mess with some lineups in these upcoming games, and see what works and what doesn't, and where we can move guys. Because I'm also, I'm a big Sass fan, and so the injury is, making me. The more that we're going with him and how his position is kind of, we have enough guys that could take that role. It is scaring me a little bit because I don't want to see him go, but I also want to see him succeed. So
yeah. Eric, what you got, bro?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be some tough decisions that's gonna have to be made. I do like that they're playing these 12-man rotations right now. Like how JB said, everyone's earned it. Everybody's kind of earned this moment right now to kind of audition for where we're going to be in the future. And based on the teams that they've been playing against, you can take the opportunity to play a 12-man rotation against a broken, Indiana team or Milwaukee that without Giannis. You can afford to tinker around and see what works for right now as you get Jaden Ivey back comfortable. Yep. I think Dennis is going to have to go back to the cruise. I think there's a max of how many games he can play with the Pistons. So I do think they can, have an opportunity to kind of shake some things up. But, based on what they need right now, again, it is important to kind of see what fits now, but you do have to be a little bit more prepared for the future as well. So, like, I don't see a guy like Karis or even Duncan Robinson right now, like, leaving anytime soon. They've been very, very, beneficial over these past 7-8 games when they're on the court. Duncan's getting a lot of praise from me defensively. Like, we know he's a good shooter and he's getting a little bit more comfortable putting the ball on the ground and getting his own shot, but he deserves a lot of credit for what he's done defensively, taking charges, deflecting passes, just being in the right places, talking to the young guys, telling them where they need to be. Like, he's been really good this year. He deserves a lot of credit. And again, when you're trying to aim for what they'd be talking about, a championship, you want to have some been there, done that guys around. Yes. You don't want to just lean on a roster full of young pups that are learning on the fly. You want to be able to have some vets like Tobias and the other vets on the team to kind of help out. Paul Reed, like, that's why they're there. So, I don't want to say any kind of names of who could be on whatever, but I do think they're going to have to start making some tough decisions soon once these rosters and these directions look a little bit more clear.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me how Coach Bickerstaff has been able to toe the line with all this. Because, I mean, I know that as much as he says, and I believe him, like taking it game by game by game, everybody's aware of the streak right now, right? It's noise, right? No matter how loud. So it's just impressive to me how he's been able to give all these guys playing time, juggle the rotation, and still pick up dubs. That's not easy to do, man. So I got to give him a lot of credit for being able to do that for sure. But yeah, like you guys said, man, something's got to shake. I don't think he's going to be able to continue to give guys, 12 guys minutes every night. And if so, it's going to be like 10 to 12, for some of these guys, 4 or 5 of these guys every night. So I think as you get close to the playoffs, you got to start defining roles and things like that. And I think it's going to be hard to do that if you're trying to play all these guys so many minutes. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'm not really sure. I don't really have an answer as to what I really think. I just know it's going to be hard for him. He's going to earn his money for sure this year and beyond.
Yeah. So I just wanted, there is a comment that, or someone asked a question that kind of relates to this. So I'll ask that in a second, but just to go off of that, I wanted to say it's also it's just early. Like trade deadline is a little bit away. We're just, we just saw, it's only been like 2 weeks since we saw what Danish can do and what's coming. So it's just right now, just appreciating it. And, going forward, if this is how they play, it's just as higher trade value. It's just better for us as well to not get rid of anyone early or make decisions prematurely. But a question in the comments was, and it just reminds me because this would be a backcourt, signing. Do we see Malik coming back? Do we want Malik coming back?
I mean, for me, just based off what we just talked about for the last 10 minutes, I don't see how it happens unless they have intentions of trading somebody else already.
Right.
Because it's already kind of crowded in the backcourt. Like, would he help his team? Absolutely. If he got the minutes, but the problem is whose minutes he's going to take because Duncan's playing well, like you mentioned. So it's like that would have to be something it'll make the problem kind of harder, I think, in my opinion, as of right now, even though I do think he's one of the better players of the bunch, considering he's been here and knows these guys already and just the vibes. But it's like, how do you make that happen would be my thing. So I'm not really sure. What do y'all think? Let's start with you, King. What you got, bro?
Man,
it's tough.
It's a good question. Man. Whoever commented it, throw your name in because I didn't get that.
Like I said, with Bees, man, you don't pass up that opportunity. I know we got some guys that's playing well right now, man, but if you can find a roster spot, you find it. If you want to go into the playoffs and make some real noise, if this thing is truly clear, you get Bees if you got an opportunity to get them. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The opportunity to have him and Duncan Robinson on your roster is insane. And for me, the guys like that's where I would say, okay, well, guys like Karis LeVert, that's where you start looking at him like, hey, maybe we move on from him, something like that. But that's where I'm at with it. I can't pass up on the opportunity. He obviously wants to be here in Detroit.
Yeah.
It's just up to Langdon, man. If Langdon wants to bring him back, if the situation blows over and he's clear, you just got to take it, man.
So you're looking at more so keeping Duncan if it came down to it, as opposed to keeping Karis just based because of the shooting. Is that kind of where you're at with it?
Yes, the space. Okay. Yes.
And having a guy like Jaden already, I see where you're coming from. I got you. What you think, E?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, because a lot of the backcourt guys we're talking about that play like the two, like some of them stretch out to the three as well. Like you could go to like bigger or smaller lineups, however you want to look at it. Like even moving like Ron to the two if you needed to. So they do have that versatility. In terms of Bees, I mean, you won't say no to that. The Pistons are 18th in the league in 3-point shooting right now. Like their offense, especially in the half-court set, isn't perfect. There's a reason they rely on transition buckets and playing with speed and space because they're young, athletic, and they're still trying to round out their half-court offensive sets and whatnot. So
yeah,
I would say for sure for Beasley. Again, how you get him there is very difficult at this point.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah, Duncan he's really, I don't want to say he's overachieving because that could be like disrespectful, but he's playing. He's surpassing a lot of expectations early right now, especially off of a rough start. Like I was hard on him the first couple of games, but like I said, over the past 7, he's been really, really effective, and you can see how much better the team is when he's on and he's knocking his shots down. So again, I don't know how they make it happen. Again, he's really kind of the only proven like consistent shooter at the moment. So they do need to find somebody else, but how they get there is going to be tough. And if Beasley is the guy, yeah, I don't really know how you can say no off of the year that he had last season.
Right. And not even expecting him to have that, to repeat that over again. If he gave 80% as far as what he did last year, that would still be a win.
Exactly.
He had an incredible season. And then somebody said the vibes too, like the guys love him. They love him. Like when Tully was on, I asked him about it. He was like, man, yeah, for sure. We'd love to have him back. Like he was great for the vibes and all that stuff. So them guys genuinely like having him around. So I think that's important to keep in mind too. Go ahead, King.
I noticed his teammates, they always comment on posts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they still keep in contact. Like I said, over the summer, you've seen what they did over the summer. The chemistry too. It's just on all levels to me. You just got to bring him back if the situation is clear.
I ain't mad at it, man. So we'll see how that plays out for sure, guys. Yeah. All right, so let's keep it moving. And we see y'all in the chat. Keep it coming. Let's move to this here. So this season, guys, as a whole has been a pleasantly surprising one for all Pistons fans. And we are We all expected the Pistons to have a jump, but I don't think anybody expected this kind of jump, like to a 15-2 start out the gate with all these injuries. I don't think anybody, to be honest, would say they expected that. I didn't expect it. I don't know if you guys did, but I did not at all. But here's a question for you guys. Which player has surprised you the most so far, from what you expected to what they're doing now? Who would you say has been the biggest surprise for you guys this year? And chat too, who has been your biggest surprise from the beginning of the season to now? So let me come to Vinny on this one first. Tough question.
I have an easy answer, but I don't think I want to go with it right now. And
let's hear it.
I think I want to go back to who I was just praising. I think it's Duncan Robinson. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
Like great. Someone's gonna say Jalen Duren, and he's an obvious answer for sure. But I gotta go with Duncan right now. Again, I was really nervous about him being. It's an unfair dub, but it's just how people are gonna view it as the Malik Beasley replacement. And I feel like he's kind of stepped into that role very comfortable, especially knowing that he doesn't have a Tim Hardaway next to him to kind of take some looks away and add extra spacing. Like Asar's really still not much of a shooter. Tobias has been in and out of the lineup. Beef Stew is still establishing himself, and Duren's not really a perimeter guy either. And Cade is still struggling from three again. So yeah, it hasn't been easy for Duncan to kind of be the shooter that the team was expecting him to be, but he's rounding out in form now, and he's kind of expanding his game. It seemed like he don't really have a left hand for some reason, but
he don't go to it a lot. Yeah,
no, never. But he's driving well with his right. He's getting some floaters off, and then he's just knocking down some threes off of the dribble as well. He's really good in catch and shoot situations. Kay does a really good job of finding him in space for knockdowns, and he's getting more comfortable shooting in traffic. Earlier in the year, he was passing up a lot of threes because somebody was in his face. He's letting it go quicker now, and he's knocking them down at an efficient rate. So for me, I would go with Duncan right now because, again, you need some kind of spacing and shooting, and he's been checking that off, and you see how valuable it can be on this win streak for the Pistons.
I'm not mad at that. He has been a pleasant surprise for sure. We're going to get to these guys a little bit more later, but that's a good take. Boss, let me come to you next.
Oh, man. Well, I think the first one that pops into my head is Danis, but I have been following Danis since he got on our summer league, so he didn't surprise me at all. Like, I knew what he was capable of. So for me, it was Javonte. It's been Javonte, because when he was signed, I was just like, oh, cool. This guy just like what I saw of him is like, oh, he has the Detroit attitude. That's what I love about him. Oh, he's just, gonna grind it out. But just the way he's been playing, and I mentioned it a lot. His defense, his box scores might not always impressive, but he stays in front of his guys. He makes wise choices. He doesn't get into foul trouble as a guy who's out there to defend. And so he's been my favorite guy to watch. I was hoping to see, he had lower minutes too yesterday, which kind of surprised me, but that he's one of the guys. It's like who comes in when it's time. So Devontae Green is my biggest surprise, because I was unfamiliar with his game, and he's just exceeded expectations for me.
Not mad at it. King, what you got, bro?
Well, boss took my thunder, but I guess I got to go with the obvious now. I'll just bring out the obvious, right? It's Jalen Duren. It's like I said, even for the first couple of games, it's like, man, here we go again with foul trouble and stuff like that. And then he just took off, man. The aggressiveness and the use of the left hand around the basket has been so impressive to me. I did not expect that. The ability to take the little fall away jump shot, I did not expect to see that either. Mm-hmm. So just the way that he's playing, the IQ that he's playing with, along with Cade in the pick and roll situations, and controlling himself a little bit better. I think Stu has something to do with it, though, playing next to him, but being able to control himself a little bit better on the defensive end and not foul as much, I've also been impressed with. So yeah, on all levels with Jalen Duren, man, just the attitude, the nastiness, the strength using his muscle, I'm impressed.
Yeah, he's been great, man. I had both of those guys for consideration as far as JD. I wasn't quite as surprised because I saw what he did the second half of the year, and I saw him trending upwards. He wasn't what he is now, but I saw him kind of trending upwards just from a mentality standpoint of taking ownership of that painted area and just taking pride in being a rim protector. He didn't have that last year until the second half of the year. And so that was what had me thinking he was going to take a jump. I didn't think it'd be like this though. Like King mentioned, he's really in so many different areas, just taking off to another level. So, so for me, it was boss. I'm going to go boss on this one. Like for me, it is Javonte Green. I knew this guy when he got here. I knew he was a great athlete, even at 32. And I know he was tough and fit the culture. But I did not know he was this smart of a basketball player. Mm-hmm. This dude is the ultimate connector on the court, on both sides. Like, we've seen him board and push and get to the line. Like, I didn't know he had a handle like that. I didn't know he could shoot the ball as well as he can. I didn't know he was as good defensively with his instincts and his rotations as he is. He just doesn't hurt you. He doesn't hurt you on the court, man. He's played every game this year. One of the few guys who can say they played every game this year. I don't think anybody expected him when we got him to be playing 20, 25 minutes a night at least. But he's just he's just been an all-around great addition to this team because he can do a little bit of everything and he knows how to play team ball. So for me, it's Javonte Green far and away. As far as what I expected and what he's giving, as far as just being on the court, yeah, he's really, really impressed me for sure. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, man. With Javonte, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. He's not a player name that stuck out when we acquired him. When we acquired him, I blinked the eye. I'm like, man, I can't even sit here and act like I know who Javonte Green is over his career. I've seen him here and there. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know he had the abilities that he had. And him and Reed, when they did get on the court, I really, really liked that combination, man. Those dudes are tough together. The big game that he had where he just was blocking the 3-point shots, man. Like I said, it's just everything that you need in a guy is what he brings. And this is, like I said, when you look at this roster, when you look at guys like him, these are the old Pistons teams that were successful. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a guy that was, he's not a guy that's jumping out the TV monitor that people know in their living room watching. He's a guy that's going to stick out on the screen for his effort. And he's been great at it. And I've been so appreciative of his effort, man.
Yeah, for sure. He's really surprised me. Go ahead, Even.
Yeah, Trajan's done a really good job of finding those culture fits. Even going back to last year, like I said, Paul Reed, who really does not get enough credit in these conversations. Wu kind of fits under that exact same umbrella. Kind of going back to Jalen Duren real quick, because he shuts me up every single time I be trying to criticize, because I always want him to get the ball closer to the hoop. A lot of his ISOs and his drives start at the top of the key. And I'd be like, man, can you get him on the block? Get him at least 15 feet away. He looks at the camera like, watch this. And it just goes right by. It blows by his opponent. I'm like, you know what? You got it, bro. Don't listen to me. You figured it out. And then again, he still does it briefly. He works on it a lot in shoot around, but he's still warming up to making that jumper a consistent thing. But when he does, again, the form is there. I don't think I've seen him just brick one or make it look crazy. Like, he's always online. Yeah. And it just shows how special he can be, and his passing as well. Like that play with Cade against the Bucks where he throws it to Ivey, back to Jalen, and he hits Cade on the cut for the dunk. Like, first of all, it's just cool to see the Pistons running sets and basketball plays again, and knowing that you can pass with your big man from as far as the top of the key is such an advantage to have for the Pistons. Like, I just love the way he fits in everything that they do right now.
Great point. Great point. I had to highlight this. He said this before, but I don't know if you guys saw it or not. So Sean said Javonte knocked out Mike Tyson in May of 1992 in the form of Buster Douglas. Shout out Buster Douglas. Shout out Mike Tyson. I kind of saw it. I kind of saw it. The similar build, complexion is similar. I see it. That was funny. But no, I agree with you guys, man. I think the fact that we have so many different answers is just once again a credit to, I think, Trajan Langdon and the guys that he's brought in. Everybody he's brought in they've shown they can be impactful in some way, shape, or form. And I think that's a positive and credit to him for sure. Definitely. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Let's move on to Jaden Ivey's return. So, guys, Jaden made his return after missing 10 months of basketball. It's been a long time coming for Jay. It was nice to really just see him back on the court with these guys for his sake, and then also just looking at how many possibilities can come from him just being on the court. So he's only played in 2 games so far, and he's averaging 13 minutes, 11 points, 2 boards, 1.5 assists, nearly a steal, half a turnover, shooting 56% from the field, 50% from 3, with the true shooting percentage of 65%. So It's only been 2 games, but what has been your way too early reaction from what you have seen in these 2 games from J.I.? And let me come to you first, King.
Just going out there and finding ways to contribute. You know what I'm saying? I see him getting down on himself when you don't make the right pass. Just trying to get in and get into the chemistry and keep things flowing. Don't want to come in and be a thorn out there. So, but the jump shot just looks easy. Some of the shots in general just look easy for him. We'll see him eventually get the explosiveness going more and more. Right now, he's just trying to make sure he's on the court. You know, when you haven't played since January, you just got to make sure that you're able to play on in certain games. I know the first game, I kind of noticed he was kind of holding back a little bit. I can see it. But man, yeah, just impressive to come back and just smoothly find ways to get buckets for us.
Yeah. Eric just texted me last night during the game. He said he still looks a little timid at times, so he's still trying to get to that point. So, what have been your thoughts on J.I. so far?
I'm loving what I'm seeing from this kid, man.
Me too.
And I don't care. We're gonna claim it. This is the Ivy Hive right here. I don't care. Like I'll be the one to put my shield on for this dude because I mean, what they say, he can't create for himself, doesn't create for others, not effective defensively. What else they say? Net negative player.
We took off after he got hurt.
We took off after he got hurt. All this nonsense. And I knew as soon as they started winning and put it back in, they were gonna look at his BPM and how the team was playing, and he's fitting in just fine. What LeBron say about Kevin Love when he got over here? Don't fit out, just fit in. That's what Ivey's doing right now. Exactly. He's not pressing. He's not trying to do too much with his game right now. And even in the moments where he is, even if he's missing the shot, you see the potential and what this team is needing to be for real. Like whether it was that mid-range step back that he had against Milwaukee, creating his own 3-pointer or catching a 3-point shot from Cade, playing in transition, getting a nice drop off from Duren. Like he's putting it together and showing how valuable he can be with the team. Again, a little timid still. You can kind of see that he's, trying to, again, just not do too much, but still show that he can be effective. And knowing that he's doing it in this condensed time and a minute restriction has been super impressive for him. Again, I really want to see this kid work out, knowing that he and his family care so much about doing it for the Pistons. Like for me, I personally want to see that work. And knowing for this foundation and this group where they all have been from the bottoms of the Monty days, the struggles of, with Dwayne Casey, not knowing what their rotation was going to be, going through so much losing. They're all still here together, including Ivey. He's a part of that. It's like when people talk about it, they act like he's not in this equation too. He is. And I love to see that he's even able to contribute now, even in these slow little spurts. And I know when he's ramping up by like December, I really think he's going to be all the way ready. And I think it's going to take this team to an even more dangerous level offensively.
Well said, man. Boss, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, he's my favorite player. When I went to the home opener, the first thing I did was go buy his jersey.
Yep.
But I agree with King, like the way that JB's bringing him in and everything has been just like the perfect amount of basketball for him. And while he seems a little timid, I mean, he still got his speed. I was impressed by his defense. I was thinking about the mental challenges of having to go against Cole Anthony and then Ben Mathurin. He has history with both.
His two biggest ops, yes.
So he has that out there too. He's playing great. And I just think it's just gonna get better. And every time I see him, I told you this yesterday when the camera was on someone shooting free throws and I saw him in the background. I was like, oh yeah, he's back. Like I was like, he's in. There we go. So I'm just thrilled to see him back. And all the trade packages with him just really bummed me out. I've had my own fights with people about Ivey and his importance to this team, and I'm just excited. But I think he's just going to prove people wrong. I think he's going to finish this season much better than he started last. So.
Yeah, I think those are all good points. I think for me, the biggest thing that I noticed is that with Coach Bickerstaff, and maybe it's because we're so deep, but he's not relied upon to have to do so much that he was doing before. We saw so many times, a couple years ago where we see him ISO at the top and four guys around him just watching, and he's trying to make something happen one-on-one. He tried to get to a step back three. It's like, but we play team ball now. Right. We move, we have play movement and ball movement now. So he's not going to be called upon to do so much so often like he was before. It's going to be all within the construct of an offense. So I think he's just taking his time and learning how he's going to be a part of that and adjusting to his load, maybe not being as big as he may have thought it was going to be. But I'm sure he watched film all last year when his team was playing well. He saw how they were playing together, moving the basketball, cutting, playing good defense. He saw those things from the sideline. So I'm sure now he's like Eric was saying, not trying to step on toes and try to do too much. He's trying to find that balancing act of, okay, here's my time to be aggressive. Okay, not so much. So I think for him, once he toes that line, he's going to be very, very dangerous because he's not going to be doing too much, holding the ball too much. He's also not going to be passive either. Once he finds that line, the same way it took guys last year throughout the course of the season to find that line amongst each other. Once he gets that, it's going to be crazy because you can already see just the attention that he draws when he's in the court, right? You see, like he's going to allow Cade to play off ball more, something that Cade really hasn't done enough. We've seen it with Dennis Jenkins at times when he's in there. You got two creators. Now Cade can kind of get off ball and he can cut to the hoop and get an easy layup. Like that, those are things you're going to be able to see with Cade instead of Cade having all his ISO top of the key with 10 eyes on him. So just being on the court alone is going to make things easier for both him and Cade. And I think that's once they get that to the happy medium and they all understand each other and the chemistry's there, it's going to be dangerous. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Anything else on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, the team is locked in too. I loved, Cade's comments, kind of talking about, even with the Kevin Durant interview saying that, they haven't really had a lot of time together, but he still thinks they can make it work. Their skill sets complement each other well. And you see how excited they were when he knocked out his first shot, when he got comfortable, took his jersey off and took his warm-ups off. Like you see the chemistry and the energy that they have. And for him, I talk about this a lot. Knowing what he's been through, if you look at it every year of his career, first year, Cade goes down. He's got to learn a whole new role first year. Second year is the Monty situation, and that goes completely left. And he's still able to kind of keep his mental and still play and adjust how he can. Next year, starts off fantastic, gets injured. Watch your team go through this whole stretch of winning without you. Now you got to it's in his head. It's not like you can just cast it off and be like, oh, yeah, it's no big deal. Of course it's in his head. And now coming back to still contribute in a situation like he's in now, and again, just fitting in and not doing too much, the maturity of this kid surprises me every day, man. I really like the effort that he puts in, the work he puts in. You see it in his body as well. He's looking like a running back on the court. Like he's really impressed me a lot through this career with all the adjustments he's had to do. And again, that's why I really want to see it work with him with the Detroit Pistons, just based on everything he's been through.
Yeah. Go ahead, boss.
No, I mean, I just agree with everything he was saying. And you mentioned, how he was watching last year. He had an interview where he said that he was really taking notes from Schroeder and his play. Yeah. Which, and he's not even, coming in as our point guard, but just to see how to move the ball, to make the right decisions and everything. And we have talked about it before because I mentioned to you, I was like, he just looks so bummed on the bench. And you're just like, well, he's bummed because he wants to be out there. And I was like, okay, good. And then, we see him, we see the excitement. The fact that he's, getting to the rim, hitting threes, it just all looks so good. And I'm ready for more.
Yeah. And this looks so easy.
Yeah.
He left some points on the board yesterday. He had a few bunnies at the rim that he makes 9 or 10 times. He could have 15 points in 10 minutes or whatever it was. So like you just see, man, it's going to be a lot easier for him not having so much of a load. And I was talking to somebody the other day, as far as they're like, man, he's really become a better shooter. The first couple of years he was shooting 34% or 33% from three. Last year he was at 40. Man, he's really improved his shot. It's like partially, but you look at those first few years he was here. Look at the quality of his threes. We were saying ISO at the top of the key, shot clock running down, step back three. That's a low quality shot for Steph. And Steph's the best shooter of all time. So now we saw last year him catching him in rhythm off a ball movement, wide open at times, in rhythm. That's going to improve your percentage just in itself, just getting better quality threes. So I think that's a big part of it, more so than him becoming a better shooter. He's always been able to shoot the ball.
And in those previous years, he was also main ball handler. He wants to play shooting guard. So he was point guard. He was trying to figure out how to create plays for everyone else on top of himself. So like you said, I think he wasn't taking his best shots, and we just saw him get more comfortable last year. And then I mentioned it last podcast, like if between him and anyone, if I had to pick a guy to make a shot clock, a buzzer beater three, it'd be Ivey, the way that he was shooting. He did a couple last year. I'd pick him as the most, most consistent. So.
It's funny you say that because that swing to Ivey in the corner against the Kings, that 4-point play, That's extra swing came from Bees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bees could have pulled it.
Yeah.
But he probably realized the shot before this, Ivey scored as well. Jaden scored as well. He actually scored the bucket before that bucket. So he was already rolling. So Bees didn't have to do that. He could have thought, no, I'm the best shooter on this team. Let me get this off. But extra swing don't always come. Eric, I know you played on it. You played. We've all played. The extra swing don't always come.
No.
So the fact that he was able to swing it showed the confidence he had in him for sure. Absolutely. So that's a great point, boss, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys, we'll leave it there, man. Let me follow up with this. So we know he's not currently in the starting lineup. How many games would you guys say you would wait to look at as far as trying to insert him into the starting lineup? Do you think he just needs to slow roll it like 5-10 games, or what do you think? You think he's ready? I don't think he's ready yet at this point. I would probably wait a little bit longer, but I want to get you guys' thoughts. No right or wrong answer. Let me start with you, Eric.
It's tough because Duncan is making it hard for him right now. I feel like they're going to be in a position where, like, we saw Ivey play a lot of sets last season, and I think the year before, not the year before, but last season for sure, where he was playing upwards around 30 minutes. Knowing where Duncan is playing now, they're both going to kind of level out what those minutes are just based on how they play. Again, Ivey's three-point shot looks like it's intact, but, Duncan's not shy with his either. So, as long as he's still effective defensively and starts kind of ramping up slowly but surely in terms of his confidence and being able to have that start-stop speed that we've seen before, I think we could see him around the starting lineup in December. Because again, I don't think it's gonna change too much. But again, if they're winning so much, it would make it weird to kind of change it based on what their momentum is right now. But again, they have a lot invested in Ivey. They think he's a big part of the future. So I think they do want to kind of get him back in there just to kind of see what it looks like. It would make sense. But yeah, I think they'll probably look to do that probably sometime soon in December.
Let me get the super chat in. I'm coming to you, King. DeVero87 says the All-Star lineup talking Pistons ball. Gotta love it. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've not been together, so we had to get the band back together, and wreak some havoc and get in some arguments. So definitely want to shout you out, bro. We appreciate you. All right, so let me come to you, King. What are your thoughts on that as far as a time frame that you would like to see him potentially return to that starting lineup?
When he takes it. I don't want to put a number on it. I want Ivey to have a performance to say, okay, yeah, now it's time. It's time. We got to put him back in the starting lineup. I noticed JB last game more so. He found some time to get him and Cade on the court together for a small little period.
Yep.
I think the more you start to see that, because obviously that's the look that they want. They want to see those two on the court together. When you start to see that, when you start to see the confidence, when we're not out there missing bunnies because we're thinking about it, when you start to see him do more and more and ramp it up more and more, I think that's where we say, hey, now it's time to throw him in the starting lineup. We can't hold him back any farther. I want him to work for it and get his confidence. I'm with that.
What do you think, boss?
Yeah, I think King nailed it too. I think I trust JB when to bring him back as well. But I can see mid-December. I think that the cup plays a factor as well. How far we get into the cup games, because those come around mid-December. I don't know if JB would mess if we advance out of our region. I don't know if he would mess with certain lineups so far. So, but I would say a couple weeks mid-December, but I mean, at his own pace. Now we're just seeing him slowly come in, and just the way he's playing. I mentioned yesterday, like if we tripled his minutes yesterday and he was hitting, staying efficient through all those minutes, he would have had a very high scoring game.
Yeah, for sure. Per 36 would have been crazy.
Yeah. So I think it's just about him, and no one's trying to rush, but he knows that he has a place ready for him. So
yeah. Let's get to some of these comments, man. Dante says Ivey's one of the hardest workers, so I was confident in his comeback. What I love about Ivey is he won't even care if he starts. He just wants to play 100%. D. Davis says he just wants to get hot, or once he gets hot, he'll be in the starting lineup. Devon says not to be like this, but Jay might not start right away because of politics. He's in the contract year. That's an interesting thought. I don't know if that'll play a part, but you never know. Ivey said, 72 Main says Ivey better than Jalen Williams. He knows how to control and run a team. Interesting. I think he's got a little ways to go defensively to get to that level, but I think he's close already. So we'll see how that plays out. But good comments, guys. Let's keep it moving, man. Let's move to our next topic. And this is regarding the starting 4 spot. So Boston and I guys in the chat, we've been talking about this for a while, for a few days, maybe even a week now. But it's which Pistons 4 do you guys think best fits with the starting unit between Isaiah Stewart and Tobias Harris? They both bring different looks. I'm pretty sure you guys have thought about this a little bit. Boston and I talked about it at length. So I'm going to start with you first, E. Which 4 do you think better fits the starting 5 as currently constructed right now?
I think it's still Tobias. I like Stu, and I like the way that him and Dern have found a way to play together. Again, they stick to their identity. Stu's getting a lot more confident with his, outside shooting, which I like and I appreciate, but he's not sacrificing it, or he's not sacrificing what he's good at just to try that out, which is what he was doing a lot during the Monty Williams time. I still think it's Tobias, though, just because I think they still need some more offensive balance of a creator. While Stu can be efficient and effective offensively, he's not a guy that creates his own shot consistent enough for me. So you see a lot of times when, especially late in the game, where the Pistons are dealing with a surge from their opponents and they need a bucket, and if maybe K misses a couple, what do? They throw it to Tobias on the block, and then he goes at Siakam or whoever else, and he's able to knock down some tough shots. He's been hitting some tough shots while he's been on the floor this year. And he's still playing pretty well defensively. I see King's tweet where he was dribbling on a fast break and he lost the ball. King said his knees went out.
Oh, I saw that too.
I was laughing so hard. I'm like, yeah, bro, you earned the UNC title now, bro. You can't fight it no more.
No turning back, bro, from that. It ain't no turning back. He was letting it go with the crazy alley-oops.
Yeah,
the lobs,
I thought he had it too. I thought he was going to throw it down one-handed. I'm like,
yeah,
no.
nah.
Blew out a
Abort.
Yeah. But no, I'm going to still go with Tobias, though. I think he's got I think this is probably the last great year he has left in him for what they need. Obviously dealing with the contract as well, but I still think he just kind of fits a little bit easier in terms of being a spacer on offense, and he can score down low as well and still give you some on the glass and on defense.
Okay. King, you chomping at the bit over there, bro. Give me your thoughts on this.
I love you, Uncle T. But nah, bro. I listen, man. The first time I said something was, last night's game. I'm like, man, why is Jarris Walker doing what he's doing? Why are the bigs doing what they're doing? And I'm like, you know what? Because Stu ain't in there with Jalen.
Thank you, bro. That's what I said yesterday. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Non-existent. It took me back to the Tobias and Drummond days, man. I was screaming at the TV. I'm like, bro, come on, man. Even if you start him in certain situations, I just want JB to make the switch. Make the adjustment. Get Stu in there a little bit earlier if you got to. Move Tobias down to the 3. Whatever, play with the lineup, whatever you got to do. But there can't be stretches where we leave Tobias out there because, no disrespect,
we love Uncle T.
He can't move like he used to, man.
Right. He's 35, bro. He's 35, man.
Break, man. He couldn't even bend down to get the ball when he lost the ball. His knees was out, the legs were stiff. He can't do those things no more. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I get the offensive swing, though. Like I said, his first game back, he looked amazing offensively. Mm-hmm. But against certain matchups, man, it hurts us. You know what I'm saying? It hurts us. We can't have guys like Jarris Walker scoring like he did, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Career high. Yeah, 8 for 9 from the field, 5 for 5 from 3. Like, some of those was like, bro, come on. Go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry. That irritated me.
Going up against a Cleveland potentially in the playoffs and stuff like that, where they run sometimes 3 bigs. You know what I'm saying? We got to have some type of front out there defensively to say, no, you're not coming in this paint. It's not going to be easy. We need the difference between Tobias and Stu is a perimeter defender too. You know what I'm saying? He's probably one of the best in the league at it. He can move his feet. You know what I'm saying? Where Tobias is a little different. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I get it. You start him. You brung him here for a certain role. You start him. He helps the offense flow a little bit. But in certain situations, man, I got to see Isaiah Stewart out there. Because when you're getting killed in the paint or when we're having trouble defending guys in general down there, we got to make the switch.
Okay. Boss, what you got? We talked about this already, but what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with King in terms of, like, you guys brought up Jarris Walker in the 4th. That's not the start of the game. Tobias, as a start of the game, he had great defense against Nembhard. He was hitting his shots. But I agree to the point of, like, he can be our starting lineup doesn't have to be the same lineup that we play in the fourth. That's where I think that Stu comes in defensively, but I still think it's Tobias. And especially because if we're, eventually going to aim for a too big lineup, then Reed needs minutes, and he hasn't played. He didn't play last game, and he played like 4 minutes the game before. You need a backup big in case your guy gets into foul trouble, or if you have a too big lineup, he needs rest. So I don't think that that's where they're leaning right now. I think that they're going to stick with Tobias. And I just like Tobias's offense. What he did yesterday, I thought he was super aggressive. And we did talk about, he did fall off and he made defense. He missed some, he had some miscues. He missed some defense rotations at the end of the game. But for the start of the game, I think he's still doing well. So when we're saying him as a starter, yes. And the game before, he was the first one pulled at like 7.5 minutes for Stu. And so I think if JB, does that, like King mentioned, like pulling him, getting him out and then getting Stu in faster, that works as well. But I would still go with Tobias as the starter.
So we're split down the middle, 2-2. Because I am a major proponent of Isaiah Stewart starting alongside Jalen Duren. The numbers have shown since they played together this season, in the games they played, it's been the best defensive unit in the league. So to me, since that's who you are, that's what you need to lean on, to start games and to finish games. I'm not trying to finish games with offense as a Detroit Pistons team. So for me, if you got to pull Tobias 3-4 minutes into the game, I don't feel like why are you pulling him so early? Like for me, set the tone. Set the tone early in the game. Let teams know how this game is going to go right away. Right away. So that's, to me, Isaiah Stewart just fits the mentality, and also it makes things easier on JD. You're not seeing JD get in foul trouble with Isaiah Stewart in the court because he's able to cover up mistakes. That's a major thing. We always talk about, how JD would play well in the first few minutes. 5 points, 3 rebounds, assist, and a block. And he picks up foul number 2 in the 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. And you got to sit down. Like, he helps out JD tremendously on the defensive side of the ball. And you're able to hold teams more so to one and done. The last game you played against the Pacers, they had 20 offensive rebounds, 45 free throws. That don't happen with Stu and JD starting together. So to me, you set the tone. And somebody said it earlier. Dante said it perfect. This is how I feel. Tobias can start for now. Mm-hmm. But whenever, like King says, Jaden Ivey comes and takes that number 2 spot, Stu comes with him. Because I do understand that when you replace Stu with Tobias, you're losing some offensive creation. Eric, you made that point. That's a great point. Mm-hmm. So the way you can replace that is by having Jaden Ivey be that secondary ball handler next to Kate Cunningham to replace Tobias Harris. So if Tobias starts now, I'm cool with it because you need his offensive creation. But once Jaden Ivey is ready to take that number 2 spot, I'm putting Stewart in that 4 spot because now you can keep the defensive intensity and you can still have the creation offensively.
And
go ahead, King.
Also that frees up, the situation where you bring back an Ivy. It's like, what do we do with Duncan? Duncan moves to that 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He moves to the 3, okay. And now you got Stu and Duren. And then when you look at it on the second unit standpoint, now you got more offense coming from a second unit situation, mm-hmm. with Tobias being with those guys, or whenever he decides to, put him into the game, because second unit, obviously you still got Asar, you still got, at the guard position is where you're going to get most of your scoring from the second unit. So like I said, you add some offense to the second unit too, to help that out. It works out for me. He would eat in that second unit. Tobias? Yeah. He would go nuts in that second unit because he could be a focal point for sure. I think it's just that point of his career, bro. It's like you can't keep starting. Like at some point, Tobias, you reach the age where you got to come off the bench. Yeah. So like I see both sides of it. To be honest with you, I see both sides. I just look at what the Pistons say they want to be, and I'm like, all right, then what are we doing from my perspective? So go ahead, boss.
And you know what? We haven't seen Tobias off the bench yet.
Right.
The only reason that he wasn't starting was because Stu was in. So it's just going to be, or because he was injured and Stu was in. But I think it's just going to be a little bit of a balancing act again, just messing with lineups. And while I picked Tobias, I'm not mad. Like if I see Stu in the lineup, I'm not like, oh, boo. Like, I'm happy with it. So it's fine. But I agree. And I think that you made a great point again too, like when Ivey comes in, because right now Tobias is an offensive creator. And so once we have Ivey again, we can go back to having, not having to rely on offense as well. And then I just want to give a quick update about it's a little shocked right now at the state of the East. With Porzingis back, the Wizards are up by 35.
Wait, say it again.
On who?
The Atlanta Hawks. The Wizards are up by 35 at the end of the third.
Bro, they never really convinced me that they were going to be what everybody thought they was going to be, bro. People had the Hawks ahead of us this year, and I just didn't see it. All these new pieces, all these new injury-ridden pieces, I just didn't see it.
I think our next topic is the Cup, but I just wanted to give an update on that because the Magic are playing tonight against the Sixers, and they are tied 35-35 at the end of the first. So
hopefully they can give us an L, or somebody can get them an L for sure. We need the Magic to lose for sure. Okay, that takes us right into our last topic, guys. If there's nothing else on that one, everybody good on that one?
Yeah.
All right. Bet it up. All right. Let's talk NBA Cup a little bit, man. So before the season started, Boss can confirm this. I made the bold claim that I thought the Pistons were going to win the NBA Cup this year. That was one of my bold declarations this year. And this was before the Pistons were smacking everybody left and right like they've been doing. But I said that because I looked at a team like the Bucks last year, who actually won the NBA Cup. They weren't the best team by any means. Just ask the Pacers about that in the playoffs. But they had the ability to beat anybody on any given night once they were able to win that group, which is also the same group that we were in. So, and once you get to the knockout rounds, anything can really happen. This becomes like a March Madness situation. And they beat OKC in the final by 15, 16 points, which nobody saw coming. So I just thought coming into this season that the Pistons could earn some respect in this tournament. And I felt that if they brought their A game, that they could sneak up on the league and grab that trophy. So I'm feeling better about that pick now. The early returns have shown me and given me a lot of confidence. But I want to show you guys the current standings as far as the NBA Cup as of right now. So here's the Western on the West group is on the right, East group is on the left. So as you guys can see, we're in East B, and we are 2-0, tops of our group. And we have a point advantage over the Orlando Magic, and then from there we're good to go. So the Orlando Magic is who we currently have our sights on as far as trying to come out of that group. So I want to ask you guys, when it comes to the NBA Cup, what percentage would you guys give the Pistons of being able to walk away with the trophy this year? And let's start with Boss.
I mean, I think they can do it. I have no objections to this. I think the Magic are just a tough team that we go against. We definitely, especially when Banchero's in. I don't know the state of his injury, but him and Cade usually have a show off. And it's just as long as we stay focused, I think we could take it all the way. I'm curious, I still don't really know how the knockout rounds work and stuff. I just know these first rounds to get through. So we just got to get through the group. I'm confident with us against the Celtics tomorrow. I think the Magic game will be fun, but it would be nice if they get the L tonight, so we have a little bit of breathing room, because
for sure
they can be. We've gotten into they're a physical team that we get against. We get into a lot of fights. We get under our skin, we get under theirs, and then they can kind of heat up whenever as well. Okay.
What about you? Let me come to you, Even. What you think?
Yeah, I think it should be, something that they're looking at is very obtainable. I hate this era that we live into where if you don't win a championship, your season just means nothing. I like when other players have goals. I want to win MVP. I want to be DPOY. I want to be, first team all defense. And now the Pistons have said openly, we want to win the cup. I love that. Who don't want $500,000 in their pocket? Go for it. You need these kind of moments and these kind of achievements to show that you can do anything. You're not just going to get to a championship by getting a good night's sleep and just waking up there. You have to go through these kind of stretches and accomplish these little things to kind of get to that path. And I think it's very obtainable. If I'm not mistaken, I think Orlando's a part of that. This Friday, I believe they play them. Yeah. And crazy enough, Paolo, who's been injured, they've been playing better without him, which I think is crazy enough. We'll talk about that.
That says a lot. Later. That says a lot.
And I was a fan of Paolo coming into the draft. I don't like who he's been lately. I don't like this whole bringing the ball up, fake Carmelo thing he's trying to do.
He's not Melo.
They're playing better without him right now. I don't think that's going to be conducive, but the point is, I think the Pistons are suitable to beat whoever's in front of them to, get to that cup and obtain it. Again, I think with them, I think Boston as well. They have a lot of good, tests to get to that point, and I think they're well worthy of making it happen.
Yeah. So give me a percentage, 1 to 100. What would you give him percent wise to be able to do it?
I mean, the league is unpredictable, so I'll say 90%. I'll say 95%. I don't want to say, all 100%. But yeah, I do think it's possible. Again, I don't think the Boston Celtics or the Magic are better right now. Again, I think they match up well against anybody in the East or the league.
Right.
So yeah, I'll give them a high percentage right now. I think this, 90s makes sense for them.
What you think, King?
Well, I'm gonna be opposite of Eric, and I'm gonna say, well, yeah, I think they're gonna win it.
I'm dead.
No, but seriously, man, I think they're 100% got a chance to win it because, like I said, the fire is lit, especially with the leader of our team. You know what I'm saying? Our star player is in a different universe right now than some of these other guys. And it's funny that you mentioned about Banchero, man, because those teams are dead where it's just the superstar. Let's focus on the superstar. He's manipulating everything. And we have a special type of superstar where, he gets his team involved, and it's all about the flow of the offense. And, he takes over when he needs to take over. That's where it needs to be. So that's the difference between us and them. But when it comes to the tournament, man, I think the goal is set with the Pistons. They want to win everything this season.
Greedy.
Every game. Even to the players as far down as Duncan Robinson, you just seen the attitude of him. When they were down, he shot a couple of shots, and I seen him talking to a couple of the players on the Pistons like, bro, listen, this ain't us. This ain't what we do. You know what I'm saying? We don't have time to play around with teams. Let's take care of business. That's what you want to see from a Pistons team if you have championship aspirations. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad Eric brung that up, man, because if you want to win an NBA championship, you need to take this just as serious. It's competition. You have to be competitive on all levels.
Yeah. And that's exactly why I think they will. And I said that I thought they would, is because I always go back to what THJ said last year. I'm sorry, this offseason. I think he did a podcast with Road Tripping. And they asked him, what was the turning point for this team? Why did they just turn it on? How did you guys just turn it on? And everybody thinks it's because of Jaden Ivey going down and him not being a fit and them taking off after that. Right? That's what everybody says. But he said out of his own mouth, he said the NBA Cup. Mm-hmm. He said these guys, for the first time, the young core got a taste of real competition on a big platform, on a big stage, and they wanted more of it. That game against the Heat where JD caught that alley-oop from Cade and overtime and all that stuff, like that is what got them going. That was what he was saying. That's what he's referring to. So they want more. They want more. That was a turning point for this team to be able to consistently try to bring that effort because they wanted to play for something. They want to respect. And they want people to see it. They want people to see, look, on a national platform, like, we're legit. So that's why I picked them. Because I think, like King said, they're greedy right now. Y'all saw Cade last night after that win. He was disappointed.
Yeah.
He felt like they left a lot on the table where they could have put the game away a long time ago. They didn't. So you don't see that too often from young guys. I mean, you see a lot of guys joking around. They got their guys behind them. And no shade, but it's just a different mentality that he has right now. He is expecting to do a lot this year, and he's not really taking anything less for an answer. So that's why I think they just have a sense of urgency and a chip on their shoulder that they want to just beat everybody and prove every single night that the way people laughed at them 2 years ago, they want to silence all that laughter, all that noise and prove that's not who we are. Go ahead, E.
Yeah, you're just seeing the maturation of what this foundation is. Again, they're not just young guys. We'll just see what happens when we get there. No, they have a standard now. They have an expectation of how they should be playing each game, how they should be closing out games. And when you get your leader making these comments publicly after you set a record and you're still first in the East and he's still saying like, nah, like that's not good enough. It reminded me of I don't know if y'all remember with Blake Griffin. I forgot what game. I think it was against Chicago. And then he was kind of breaking it down too. He was like, yeah, I'm just not really happy about what we did. And then Reggie Jackson started like clouding in front of the camera. Like that's what you want your superstar to do. And Cade at 24 years old is putting that together. We're seeing a lot of young stars or former stars, whatever you want to call them at this point, showing a lot of immaturity in a lot of these moments in their career. And Cade, time after time, again, I talked about Jaden Ivey's maturity. Cade, we talked about since he was a rookie. This man has basically been just focused as a man since before he even came into the league, man. And the way he's able to respond to the adversity that he's been through to help set that standard and culture for this team, echoing, the sentiments of a JB Biggerstaff or Trajan Langdon. Again, you're seeing it from all three levels that they all locked in to be greedy and go after everything and hold a standard that this team has been looking to get to for years. And I just love where their focus is right now.
Facts. I've never not seen too many teams this young, this locked in. Right. It's rare. So anything else on that, y'all? No. Okay. We can end it there. So last topic for tonight, guys. I thought we had a little bit of fun with this. Doesn't really mean anything, but still fun to talk about. Progress report time. Progress report time. So we can talk a little bit about each player and what we saw from them. So guys, believe it or not, we're already at the 20% marker of the regular season. Time flies when you're having fun, right? But we're going to go through the roster top to bottom and give our grade for each player based on the overall expectation that we have for them coming in and how we think they have performed. So in chat, y'all let us know too along the way. So Eric, we're going to start with you, bro. And actually, let's start with Boss and we'll just kind of go clockwise. Okay. I'll name a player after each cycle. Then we'll just kind of pause if you guys want to talk about it and we'll move on. So we'll start with Boss and go King and then E and then me and then rotate. So let's start with Cade. What grade would you give Cade so far this season, Boss?
A. Yeah. Is that what we're doing it? A, B, C?
And then after we finish, then we'll just kind of talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
So you say A?
I think that my one comment is that I don't want him. I think it will change when Ivey gets better. But like last night, the one game where he went against the Wizards, feeling the need to take the shots when we're down. I think that load just needs to come off him a little bit, and he'll make a couple smarter decisions in that. But otherwise, an A for leading this group, like we've talked about.
Okay,
I'm giving them a B plus.
Okay,
I ain't giving them no A. You know why? Okay. Because I think K still got another gear. That's why. Okay. I'm going from a coach's standpoint. You get a B plus, Dave, if you listen to it.
I ain't mad at it. Go ahead.
It ain't good enough. I want less. Like I said, he's had some really good games. But like I said, just keep continuing to build. Let's work on less turnovers. Just like I said, flow of the game. I mean, I can't really argue with anything I've been seeing from. 3-point shooting a little bit better this season. Like I said, it's always going to be something to critique and get better for a player. So I just don't feel comfortable saying A, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like K has another notch of star with him. Even though he's playing the way that he is right now, I think he can hit a level to where Cade is just a S tier player, man. That's just me personally. When we drafted him, I've always felt that way.
You said that.
Man.
Yeah. Okay. I ain't mad at that. Go ahead, E.
We got to clip that and send it to Ashton.
Oh, yeah. I'm already on it.
Get that for motivation. We need
I'm already on it.
I'm going to get a clipboard and start breaking down plays.
Yeah. Right. He'd be here for it, too, though. That's the beauty of it. Like, they love that stuff.
You be watching King on the sideline getting ready. I'm going to give him an A. I think the only thing I want to see K get better at is that 3-point percentage. Like, that's just driving me crazy watching him struggle from deep right now. But everything else right now, I just think he's just gotten so much better at playmaking, scoring, post-up game. Turnovers are coming down. Defense, he's still engaged. Rim protection, just leadership, everything. He's checking off every box except that 3-point shot. I give him a high A right now.
So I was going to give him an A-, but the reason I moved him to an A is because of his two-way play. Mm-hmm. We're seeing him play on both sides of the ball now that we haven't really seen him play at before. And one thing that we always talk about is you got to be in good shape, man. To be able to be impactful on both sides of the ball, you got to be in good shape. I hate to mention him, but we mentioned Luka. Like, Luka's a great offensive player, but he leaves so much on the bone defensively. Yep. Right. Exactly, King. So it's just like, if you're not in good shape, one of those two ends is going to suffer. And we've seen him even late in games. Like, the fact that he's able to close these games offensively while still playing tough defense, sometimes 94 feet at times early in the game, you got to be in shape for that, to have enough juice left in the fourth quarter to be able to finish those games. Right. And he's done that. He's taken the challenge that JB gave to him when he first got here. Said, hey, I know you can score. I know you can facilitate, but what about that? What about that end? And he stepped up to the challenge. So I want to credit him for taking care of his body, because it would manifest itself on the court if he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? So the way he's able to get after it and is willing to get after it defensively, like buying into that mentality as well. He wasn't never a lazy defender, but it's just a different level now. The way he's moving his feet, the way he's staying down, just being more disciplined. That's what maybe give him an A, because he's doing it on both sides of the ball consistently now, every night. So I think we all agree as far as the A, B range. King was a little harsh with the B, but I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at it because, like you said, B plus. And the thing, you know what, bro? The thing is, like, in that same interview with Vincent Goodwill, he was saying, like, he wants to be the best player in the world.
Yeah.
He's not there yet. So, like you say, there are levels to still get to. Not that he's behind. He's 24, but there are still levels to get to.
I would say this. Will Michael Jordan ever give himself an A?
No. No, he wouldn't. Because he always wants to be better. That's a good point. I agree for sure. So, you know, he's on his way for sure. But once he gets to that level, like I see him, 3 or 4 years from now, 27, 28, the version of K we see then is going to be close to the S tier level I think King was talking about for sure.
I can't wait to see what else he gives everybody else now. If he get a B, I want to see what everybody else get from King.
Right.
You a hard-ass teacher, King. Golly.
No curve in that grade at all.
No, not at all. You don't even think about it.
MB Wells, he dropped from his course. I love it. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, let's keep it moving, man. We could be here all night. Let's start with the starters for now. So let's go to Duncan Robinson. Boss, what would you give Duncan Robinson?
Oh, well, I'm the optimistic one. I mean, at the beginning of the season, I'd give him a D, but his effort has A for effort, basically. It's my grade for him. He gets an A for effort. His shooting has just improved. So I would just say, I mean, it's a little tough just where he's at. Maybe I'm in the B plus range just because I don't know, but he's giving effort. I think he's just getting better. So if he just continues to get better throughout the season, he's going to raise that grade. But
okay. So you got an A right now, you said? A?
Yeah, A.
Solid A? Okay.
All A's.
I'm going to say, it's going to be straight A's. You would have been a terrible teacher. Everybody would have passed. They wouldn't even show up to school. Oh, shit, she's going to give me an A, bro. Don't even worry about it. Yeah. King, what you got, bro?
I'm going to give him an A. Absolute cinema.
Wait a minute. All that smiling about 30 seconds ago, you were sitting there squirming, and you going to give him an A? I'm surprised.
Listen, I'm going to tell you why I'm going to give him an A.
I'm surprised.
Right? And why the difference between him and Cade. Cade, I told you my expectations with Cade.
Yes.
I know what he is.
Yes.
Duncan, I also know what he is, which is a shooter. So when I see a shooter shooting the ball, great. Getting us off the fast starts. But then when I see a shooter sacrificing himself and playing defense, I got to give you an A, because there's no other notch with Duncan. Duncan's not going to be a shot creator or, a guy that's going to dribble you down. And he's not that. He's just a shooter. Yeah. So when I see you playing on both sides, I got to give you an A.
Okay. I ain't mad at that, bro. I'm not mad at that at all, because we're talking expectation. So, yeah, based on that parameter, okay, I ain't mad at that. What you got, E?
Yeah, he's earned an A so far. Again, his number one thing to do was come in here and shoot. The fact that you can give a little bit more, be that helpful veteran voice in, the ear of these young guys. You see him, pointing guys in directions of where they need to be defensively, talking to Cade about, where to set the plate offensively, working with Duran with getting them screens open and whatnot. He's done a really good job in his role. And again, he's excelled past what expectations was thus far. Numbers aside, yeah, he deserves an A for sure.
I gave him a B plus. No, listen, like in the span of like a week and a half, he had me thinking, going from, I know he was a bad defender, but I didn't know he was that bad. Yeah. To, I didn't know he could defend that well. Like, it was crazy. Like, it happened quick. But those first few games, I was like, man, why is he even out there right now? He's not impacting either end of the floor. He's not shooting the basketball. He looks timid offensively, and defensively, he's stretching the defense. So I was like, I got to a point where, like, man, should he even be starting right now until he can figure out what he's doing on both sides of the ball? So because of that, I give him a B plus, because the way he's looking now is even better than I thought he'd be somewhere in between the start of the season and now, as far as how he looks. But he's exceeded expectations now, started off very, very slow. So because of that, I think overall he has been a plus. So I think he's been better in more games than he's been worse. So that's why I give him a B plus. I think that's still a good grade. Y'all roll with that?
Yeah.
I'm with it. I say I'm with it. Anytime I see Duncan Robinson taking charges, though,
facts.
Yeah.
He was in his THJ bag.
I've
you know
never
what I'm saying?
seen him take a charge ever.
Yeah.
So,
And talking.
Right.
I love that.
Deflecting. Yeah. He was doing all kinds of stuff. So yeah, shout out to him for sure for having a great second half so far of this young season compared to the beginning. All right, guys, let's move on now to Ausar Thompson, and we'll start with you, boss. What is your grade for Ausar?
Probably be my toughest grade because I expect so much more from him, even though he's coming off a great game. So I would say C+, because if C is average, I think he's above average as a player, but he's not anywhere near where he needs to be. And we saw it yesterday finally click. Like he did great as a ball handler with no turnovers when he was focusing more on defense. I feel like he was too in his head those first few times that we were just like, okay, you bring up the ball to have Kate off ball. There was just something about it. So I see him as a C+, but that's going up.
Okay.
I see him playing a lot cleaner. I just see more consistent games like yesterday's.
Right.
I don't expect him to go out there and, get a ton of offense going. But the defense that he did yesterday and the effort was there. When in other games it hasn't been. It's been almost hesitant, or the word confident comes to mind. When he goes out there with confidence, he plays so much better. So it's almost like he's a C+, but if he just, applied himself a little more, he would get a better grade. So
okay, what you got, King?
Yeah, I'm somewhere C+, B- for Ausar. And I would go B- for Ausar because my expectations of Ausar is not the same as everybody else's. And I'll be honest, I don't think he's going to turn into this player a lot of people think he's going to be. I think he is who he is. He's a solid defender. He's a great defender that can control it. He can bring the ball up at times. He can, like I said, you can catch him on alley-oops, cut to the basket, effort plays, and all that. I think that's what he is. I don't think he's ever going to turn into this offensive player that people think he is. So that for me, the expectations are not as high as everyone else. That's why I can go with a solid B. I'm going to just go with a solid B because defensively, like I said, blocking the shots for me are impressive. I didn't expect to see that more often. We knew that he was an on-ball defender. That's what he was last year. But blocking shots, getting down there in the paint, getting more involved, yeah, I can go with a solid B for Ausar.
Okay. E?
I'll go B+. And it's based on what King said. I'm with you. I agree with what King said. And because of what he said is why I give him a little bit higher. I kind of want to go with an A- just because of what my expectations are as well. I think he's closer to a glue guy than he is a star level player. Okay. And that's okay. Like, yes, we hear it all the time. We hear a lot of projections of what people think Ausar is going to be. I personally don't see that. And based on where they are offensively, I don't think they need him to be that. Like, would it be cool if he was better of a jump shooter? Yeah, but he's also shown that he's getting a little bit better with that mid-range, even though it's still kind of flat sometimes. And he's still doing a really good job of generating his own looks off of steals and easy breakaway buckets. So if you're able to do that and change the tide offensively with that, I'm fine with that. I don't think he's ever going to become some knockdown or lights out offensive player. And I don't think the Pistons need him to do that. I feel like his defense is where it needs it to be. His fouling has come down. He said at the beginning of the year he wanted to bring that down, and I think he's done a really good job of that. So I'll give him a B+ just based on what my expectations are. He can still get better. But yeah, I think he's done a really good job based on what my expectations have been.
That last piece of what you said for me was a big reason as to why I gave him a B-. Okay. B- for me. And that, once again, it's kind of like the Kate effect. Like, I see a high ceiling for him, and I think he can become much better at the things that he's already good at with more consistency. Right? But the turnovers for me got to come down a little bit more. And it's not even, it's just a lot of his turnovers I feel are unforced. He's still moving too quickly sometimes. He's in the break. He's trying to do things I don't think he's comfortable enough yet to do consistently, like the swing through. We saw yesterday he tried to do it on Siakam early in the game, got it plucked from him, things like that. Yeah. So just unforced turnovers like that, to me, I think he can work on that for sure. But I do think a lot of that will be remedied when Jaden Ivey is also back in the court with him. Agreed. Because he won't be asked to handle the ball as much as he may be at times now. So just having Jaden on the court will allow Ausar to get back to what he's best at, which is being more of a finisher than the creator. And I gotta give him credit though, because defensively he's been great, man. Like you mentioned the way he's guarding without fouling. Now we still see him at times guard 94 feet. He did yesterday at times, to where they were barely able to get the ball across half court, and when they do, they got 12 seconds to run an offensive play. Things like that are important. Go ahead.
Ryan Rollins hell against Milwaukee.
Oh my God! Yes, he did.
Completely. Yep.
Yes, and he's done it to a few guys this season. We've seen guys, pushing him back after a foul and things like that. We've seen that a few times. So I got to give him credit because I feel like defensively he has saved us a few games.
Yes.
Like just taking over the game defensively, where he's not getting run out plays, but he's forcing guys into tough shots consistently in 2 or 3 possessions in a row. So I got to give him credit for that because he's not fouling as much. He's much more disciplined defensively, and he's still doing it at a high level. So I was going to give him a C, but because of what he's done for us on that end of the court, I feel like he's been an A on defense, C on offense. So I'll give him a B minus.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But the ceiling is high for a lot of these guys, man. All right, let's keep going. Let's move on now to Uncle T, Tobias Harris. So, boss, what grade do you give Tobias so far?
Oh man, we haven't seen him for a few games other than, coming back from the injury. I'll give him a B. I think he's doing Tobias things. He knows what he is. His lobs, though. He can improve with some lobs,
he got one last game. He finally got one last.
He
did one during last game.
Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, some of the first few were really bad. Like not even barely. No, they were.
Kay was like,
yeah. And those were, almost, and like if some of the guys went up for that, they could have fallen down hurt, Yeah. But and then I think he's better in the first half than the second, but he's still reliable. He's still who he is. So I would just give him a B. There's everything I already talked about, when we talked about the starting lineups, what I like and what I don't like about his game, but he's Tobias Harris. He is who he is as a player.
Kane, what you got, bro?
I'm gonna give him a solid B too. He like, just like boss said, he's Tobias. You know what I'm saying? And at this stage of his career, it takes him a little while before he gets to that red hot Tobias. You know what I'm saying? So we've seen a good game with him, but we also seen a game where, that shot is as flat as this water bottle I got right here. But like I said, for what it's worth, he's gonna give you some points. He's gonna try. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be a leader out there and, tell guys where they need to be. I mean, it's just a B. It's Tobias.
Yeah. E?
Yeah, I'm going to echo a lot of that. I think a B is fair for him. Again, like I said earlier in the season, the timing of his production is way more important than the volume of his production. Like, you don't want Tobias shooting 25 shots a game. Right. You don't want him averaging some ridiculously high number of anything. Like, he's helpful when you need him. Like, when JB calls him a security blanket, it's because they need his help. They need to cool off the other team right now. They need to just get an easy bucket. Or he just needs to talk to somebody. Like, hey, this is where you need to be. Block out here. Make sure we're right here doing this. Like, that's where he is at this point in his career. And I think he's he's given enough to where he still shows that he can be serviceable. I'm 100%. I'm with you where we had the argument of, maybe Stu will be more valuable as a starter, but you can also see where, Uncle T gives his value as well. So I think he's given a B effort so far, and I think it's been good enough for him.
Y'all covered that, man. I got nothing to add. He's just been steady. He's been nothing. What I expected to see from him was what he has provided.
Right.
So, I think a B is solid for sure.
Cool.
All right, guys, we'll move it on from there. Let's go to JD. Boss, I'm coming to you first. What grade would you give Jalen Duren so far?
Yeah, A plus in that range. Because at this time last year he was ranging like 11 points per game, and now he's averaging 20 points per game.
Yeah,
he's cut his fouls down. I don't think he's even complaining as much anymore. He gets frustrated. He's hustling, which in the first few games he didn't. He did better than last year, but he's just in this like winning streak. He's just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's scary. People have him in Olympics 2028 graphics, So obviously he gets a good grade. The A's.
Okay. A plus for boss. King, what you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him an A. A minus. There's still a little bit more something in there. But he's what I wish Chris Webber was when he played for the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being a shell of himself. He's, like I said, the ability to use his strength to be finesse at the same time. Like I said, as strong as Duran is, the jump shot is so finesse and it's so soft. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, to use the left hand, the versatility. Thank you, Rasheed Wallace.
Man.
She,
Penny,
man,
Larry Brown, all of them. Go ahead.
The mentality, too, you can see it coming out of Duran. The same mentality he gave Dre for a couple of years with dunk everything, bro.
Yep.
Dunk the ball. Like, forget
Good point.
when you got a chance, to do a reverse layup, fine. But meantime, dunk the ball. Now people are scared to be around the rim when you have the basketball. That's why you do that. So
yeah,
shout out to JD, man, for the leaps and bounds he's shown with the different aspects of his game.
Yeah. I think that's a good take. What you got, Ivey?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a high A for sure. I love the improvement I've seen defensively. He's definitely cut down a lot of his fouling. I'm super encouraged by his free throw shooting, especially in late game situations. You just don't see a big as strong and big as he is shooting 75%, and in situations where they're fouling him, thinking, "Oh, we got an easy one, we'll get a possession back." Nah, I'm knocking these down. And he's, even in Cade's absence, like there's been Cade's on the floor, off the floor, he's been the most imposing and dominant player on both sides of the floor in certain games. And like I even remember back to the Olympic breakout where Cade and him were on the practice team together and they were both doing well. It was really cool to see Cade becoming who we thought he was going to be, but Duran's progression was the X factor because we didn't think he was going to be as good as he was or had the ceiling that he was showing in the Olympics, and now we're seeing the regular season thus far for the Pistons this year. Definitely got to give him a high A. I'm super impressed with everything I've seen from him.
Yeah, I can't argue with y'all, man. I also gave him an A. I just remember the beginning of last season. The start to last season, I'm just watching him, just like, what's going on, bro? Like, I know you're better than this. Mm-hmm. You showed me last year and the year before that. So I'll say this, he started slow this year, the first few games, but it was nowhere near as long as it took him last year to get going. Right. So for that, I give him a lot of credit. He just seemed to start slow to start the season for whatever reason. But I mean, yeah, he's progressed in so many different ways. And for me, one of the biggest things is that he understands how good he can be, and that a lot of his game, not all of it, but a lot of it is predicated on the success of his point guard. He understands how good Cade is. And he understands, go ahead, E.
No, sorry. Go ahead and finish.
Oh, yeah. He understands how good his point guard is. And he also understands how successful his point guard can help him to be if he just learns how to play with him. And he said in the I think you may have asked a question, but somebody asked a question on Media Day about their relationship. And he said, I took 2 weeks, to go wherever Cade was. If he was in Arlington, if he was in, LA or wherever he was, I went to where he was at. If he was here, I said, where you at? Okay, I'll be there in a few days. Like, he took it upon himself to go build that relationship on and off the court, to get the on and off the court chemistry with each other. Now you see the pick and roll running way better than it was last year. Last year, you were seeing JD getting offensive fouls, him setting soft screens, not even giving Cade space. It's a complete turnaround. Now JD is setting screens like almost how Stu is now. Mm-hmm. So you just see the progression in the small areas with him too. I can't give him an A+ because I want to see the free throw percentage improve a little bit more. He started off in the high 80s. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I expect him to shoot high 80s all year, but I think he can shoot 80%. 8 for 10 every game. He kind of fell off the last few games, 5 for 8, 6 for 9, 6 for 10s. But aside from that, I have no complaint about what I've seen from JD this year at all. Y'all both want to get in there. Go ahead, Eva. You go first.
Real quick. Remember we got killed on Twitter when we said he's going to be better than Evan Mobley?
Bro, that ship has sailed. Like that.
They literally
called it out. He called it out.
About Mobley just being so disappointing this season.
Yeah. He's a beanpole. He's still getting pushed around. He's not a center either. Like we said it before, like he's built as a 4, which is fine, but when he has to be the man alone, he is not the same. And that defense suffers all around for Cleveland. Like
yes. And bro, that's why I want to
see that with JD.
That's why I want to see Stu in there with JD. If we play them in the playoffs, I want to see them dominate them, punish them. Jarrett Allen nor Mobley is big enough or strong enough to mess with JD alone. You got JD and Stu in there, bye-bye, good night. So that's why I want to see that matchup. But I 100% agree with you with the Evan Mobley take. We said it last year, bro. We said it last year often we kept religiously saying, I think King got in there and said the same thing too. But it's just, it's just levels to it, man. JD is just a better player with a higher ceiling.
Yes.
Go ahead, King. You muted.
I'm
There you
just
go.
talking like I just know I'm going. No, I just want to say, first of all, shout out to my day one Devon in the comments, man. I could go with a B+ myself. I want to see a little bit better defense too. I want to see more balls going out into the crowd with Duran. You know what I'm saying? I want to see more blocks because right now Stu to me is still just a better shot blocker. And for your size and athleticism, I want to see him get that timing down. So just I mean maybe a little bit more work with Ben Wallace closely like Stu did. You know what I'm saying? But better timing on some of those block shots, man. But he's too athletic to not be throwing everybody's stuff in the garbage.
So let me ask you this, because that's a great point. Because, I mean, I think it's hard for JD playing alongside Stu because Stu is one of one in the league.
Yeah.
There's nobody else at his size who can do what he does. Do you think if Stu wasn't on this team and we had another big who was an average defender, you would feel differently about JD's defense? I'm just wondering because Stu is like, he sets the bar like through the roof, man. It's like on any team, he's going to be what he is. Like he's going to be probably all defensive player this year. So sometimes that can kind of play up. I'm not saying it is. I'm just wondering if that kind of played a part because he's so good. It's like JD's solid, but he's not Stu. You know what I'm saying?
When I look at how athletic he is when he's dunking the ball and catching alley-oops, we come from a era where we got to watch guys like Dwight Howard, you know what I'm saying, use that athleticism.
Yeah.
Bro, there's no reason you shouldn't be blocking more shots. And then I got to give credit to Stu because, I mean, before Stu decided to start doing more box jumps and got, in that gym with Ben Wallace and worked on his timing with those blocks, he wasn't the player that he is now. You know what I'm saying? So just like he took that leap, I think JD can take that leap and probably be even better if he puts that effort towards it. Because like I said, he can jump out the gym being the size that he is. Yeah. And with a body that big, man, it's just like, bro, you should be, like I said, Dwight Howard, throwing stuff into the crowd.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I think that's a solid take. Yeah. Like, I can see it. I think for him, it's just going to take him a few years to get to that point. But I think playing alongside of Stu, for sure, is going to help him tremendously. I think it's already kind of rubbing off on him. I think just the ownership of the paint already is starting to kind of rub off on JD, which I love to see. That's where it starts. So, yeah, you could be right, bro. It could just be a thing of just committing a little bit more to that. But we are not going to ignore the jumps he has made. But it's always room for growth. I think that's what King is kind of pointing to. So I'm not mad at that, bro. Let's get to these super chats real quick, and then we will move on, guys. Let's see. Court Chronicle says, what up, though, Deuce? Ivey, King, boss. Duncan is about to empty the clip on teams. He can flat out shoot it, put the ball on the floor a little bit, and move. He's way more than a spot-up guy. Great for Detroit. I agree with that. He has surpassed my expectations up to this point. I didn't know he could handle the ball the way he did either. As far as when defenses stretch out too far to him or close out too hard, he's surprising with his playmaking out. When he's able to get into the paint. Go ahead, King.
I despise Duncan Robinson. Whenever we played against him, I dreaded going against Duncan Robinson.
I agree.
I just felt like he was going to give us 50, bro. He was hitting amazing three-pointers every time we played him.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of blinded me from other things that he can do. I wasn't paying attention to, some of the other things that we're seeing now because, I mean, obviously playing over there in Miami, their expectation over there is to play some defense too. Right. I don't think I was paying attention enough to even know that he would even try on defense. So to see it here in the Pistons jersey, man, it's been dope.
That's facts. That's facts for sure. I appreciate that comment. The Assassin King says Detroit basketball, JD's defense needs to get slightly better. Yeah, and guys,
slightly. He ain't bad, but
he just turned 20. Like, bro, he just turned 21.
22.
He just turned 22, man. Mm-hmm. Like, so we forget that too. Like, Stu was a few years a little older than him. You know what I'm saying? Stu's 24. So I think JD at 24 is going to leave a lot less to be desired defensively than is there right now at 22. He's still I won't say he's raw, but he was raw coming in. Right. So I think where he is now, he's made some huge jumps. So I think if you just give him time and not forget that, because he looks like he's about 30 weights built. It's crazy. So it's easy to forget that, but he'll get there for sure. All right, guys, let's go ahead. Ken, you got something else, bro?
I was just going to say, you nicer than me because 22 or not, it's guys walking in the league that's 18, 19 playing defense already.
Well, think about this, though. You just said Stu. Stu at 22 was not Stu at 24. You know what I'm saying?
Stu was in a bad situation at 22, too.
Yeah.
He was
asked to do a lot of things that he wasn't characteristically known to do.
And he was playing center with Bojan at the 4 too. Like it was bad for a minute.
It was a bad situation. Like I said, for him, it's not. Obviously, mentality plays a part. So yes, he is young, but man, I just can't get past the athleticism.
I feel you.
It's just like I just want more effort on the defense. I'm not saying he's terrible. He does block shots. He could get to that elite level within the next year or two. I just know he can.
Yep. I think so too. Go ahead, boss. We'll move on. Go ahead.
All right. I wanted to give a halftime update for this Magic game. They went up above the Sixers, but I want you to guess what their halftime score is right now because it's almost sickening.
I'm gonna say 75-70.
Higher.
Ain't nobody playing defense.
Oh my God. 80-80, 80-85?
Higher.
90-95?
86.
Oh my God, bro.
60. And there's apparently a scuffle. Andre Drummond squared up. There's pictures all over Twitter of him literally with Wendell Carter. And I guess Jalen Suggs got involved and pushed Andre. I haven't watched the video. I just seen
it. Man, we gotta speed this up. We gotta speed this stream up so we can get to that.
A good
But who's up right now?
The Magic are winning 86-60 at halftime.
Oh, they blowing them out. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Anthony Black leading scorer with 27.
Wow. Shout out Charles Hill. That's his guy.
Yep.
Man, going wild.
You losing your stock, bro. I was very, very high on Paulo. I was online arguing with some people. It's not even my space to be arguing with them. It's, Paulo's one of them ones. Bro, it's not looking good for you right now.
I never saw it, bro. To be honest, I'm not even trying to cherry pick. I never was impressed. I never was like thinking he was going to be one of those guys. Even on the Blake Griffin tip when you were saying like, oh, okay, he just didn't seem to have that to me. I don't know. There's something missing to me.
He definitely doesn't have the handle that Blake developed when he was with us or like his last year with the Clippers. I thought he would play more of his back to the basket. All this perimeter stuff that he tries to play with, the step backs, like, bro, that's not your game. And that's not even how you made it to number 1 overall. Like, I don't like this new development that he's had. And with his team playing better, yeah, bro, that's not looking good.
It's not.
I think Paolo came into an era where that myth was still alive, where the big man is dead in the league. So he came into an era where a point of this era where it's like, okay, I can go in here and do these certain things. But now you're figuring out, hey, man, we need you to use that size. We need you to get a little bit closer to the paint, man. All this step back and cute stuff that you're doing, it ain't working no more.
They try calling him LeBron 2.0. Like, y'all just going crazy. No,
so 86 is insane, though. Like, you ain't doing that with the Pistons. I'm sorry, we play defense.
Nah, man, you might not score 86 for a game in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Ken, you think it was basically the opposite of the Andre Drummond thing? Because he came in when the league was really going small.
Yes.
And he kind of got squeezed on that tip as far as that. You think it's the opposite with Paolo right now as far as going back?
Yep. And great point, man, because that's one of the things when I had a chat when we was up at the casino with me, you, and Gregory Kelser. I was talking to him on the side about that, and he was like, I think Drake came in at the wrong time. If he'd have came in around the time Dwight Howard was around, different type of situation. You know, it just came in at the wrong time, and you right on point. Great example.
Man, it's crazy. So hopefully get it together, man. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. The way he's playing right now, Devon I don't think it is. He got to switch some things up. So we'll see how that goes.
For me too. The way he's a very cocky player. For what? What do you have to show for it, Paolo? Like
he got humbled. He got humbled by a middle-aged Tobias Harris, man. So yeah, he don't need to be doing no more talking right now. All right, guys, let's keep it moving, man. We'll be here all night. Let's go to Jaden, Ivey. By the way, boss, if you have more updates, please keep us posted.
Yeah, I'll tell you the Wizards won. They beat them by 19, the Hawks. So, and that's
see what I'm saying?
That's what
frauds. That's frauds, bro.
So
they not it.
Sheesh.
They not it, bro. They always gonna be right there. That's a whole other story. All right. Court Chronicles, one more super chat says, shout out to the fans who swore the Magic were the better team. With J.I. and Stu back in the lineup, New York getting popped on. Yes, the same way they would have last year if that was the case. So another year under our belt, another year of understanding what to do when we get there and the mistakes to clean up. Scary hours for the league. All right, guys, let's go to J.I. So, boss, what grade would you give J.I. in all of the 2 games that he has played so far?
What he's been able to do in minutes, A+, of course. I gotta build him up. I would give him nothing less.
Oh man.
I think we need to take a sticker, just put A+ at the top corner.
At the top, yeah, put make it a logo or something.
The worst grade of all of you. So that's my harsh one.
That's your saving grace? Okay. All right, so A+ for Jay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, obviously what I've seen from him is great.
Yeah.
He didn't go out there and harm the team like is what we've talked about is a big factor. So I'm excited for more. I guess maybe an A because I know he'll improve to an A+, but yeah.
I got you. What you got, King?
I'm giving him a incomplete. He gets an incomplete.
I was gonna ask if y'all wanted to do that for some guys because there are some guys who could legit get that. So
incomplete. It's just,
you want to go incomplete with JI right now? Okay, we can do that. Is that what you think, Ivey?
I mean, obviously, for what we've seen though, he has looked like he's going to be himself and even better.
That's the key. That's the key. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go incomplete on JI, except for Boss who gave out A+. So we'll leave it there and we'll move on.
It's like when they gave the belt to Paul Reed, and then he popped off. It's just like giving.
So you're saying you feeding the confidence. JI, in case you're watching, bro.
Not that he needs it, but
you know all of us, all of us supporters here, but Boss is a different breed. We'll just go with that for sure. She always is looking to be encouraging. I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Boss, don't be mad at that.
Yeah.
What's going on, my dog? Right, never stops. The question: how many more games until Ivey is in? We just, hey, bro, rewind like a half hour. We just talked about this, bro. We just talked about it. By the way, tap in with me so we can get you on the show for sure. Guys, okay, let's move on to Danis Jenkins. And Boss, I'm going to start with you.
Of course, an A+. Because I mean, people were like, who is this guy? And for me, it's the point of like the fluke. Like this isn't a fluke. He didn't have since he hasn't had a bad game. He's just stayed consistent. He's had less minutes. He's had to turn to assists instead of scoring at some points, but he hasn't had a bad game yet. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay. What you got, King?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely give him an A+. So yeah, I mean, when you come from the G League, bro.
I can't believe this is my life.
You find listen. I'm gonna break this down because this, for instance, with this, the whole joke with him, the G Leaguer thing, right? Nobody expected him to get this opportunity. Nobody expected him to get this type of opportunity. Nobody expected the amount of injuries that we had at that time.
That's true.
For him to be able to get on the court the way that he is.
Mm-hmm.
In the G League, there's a lot of players like him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we drafted one from the G League. There's a lot of players that just need an opportunity to display what they really are. You know what I'm saying? And when he got that moment, he took it and he ran with it. So you cannot do anything but give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? To come from the G League on a 2-way contract, get the opportunity, and then you take it and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, A+.
It's ultimate story. Story. Go ahead, E.
Yeah, I think anything short of A+ is not fair for him. He's been unbelievable. Got himself a signature moment of the season with that knockdown shot from the corner on a play. Again, that play was broken down. It was not meant for him at all. It was.
K wasn't even looking at him, bro.
No, it was the top of the key. Duren and Duncan fell. I think Chaz might have fell too. And K just threw to him just because we needed something, and he made it work.
Eric, before you make your point, why was he open?
Nobody knew who he was.
Nobody knew who he was.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Nobody even thought that. Yep. And he made him pay. He made him pay 100%. I feel like his efforts. And I love you talk about his versatility. He's been able to play with Cade, play without Cade, and be productive. And then even stepping up to like guys like Tyrese Maxey who were talking trash to him. I think him and Nembhard had a little back and forth as well, and he's answered the call every single time. Yeah, Dennis has been unbelievable. I'm super proud of what he's done. You know, from covering him, you know, a couple years ago with the Motor City Cruise to seeing him get the opportunity now and not buckle under the bright lights at all. Yeah, I'm very, very hopeful of his future. Shout out to Dennis Jenkins for the A+.
Yeah, y'all know how I feel, man. Y'all already know where I'm coming from. And in all seriousness, too, like I expected him to do what he's been doing right now. You know, when I saw him in Summer League that first time, King, when we went to the open practice, and we saw him catch that lob from Sass off the side of the backboard, do a 360 and throw it down with his head at the rim. Like, that's when I knew he could play, but I knew he had that bounce and that athleticism. But he's always had that complete game. I saw it in Summer League. I was just asking, like, why are you here? Like, you didn't get drafted? That was when I was just so curious because he just jumped out. Because King is right. There are a lot of guys where there's a lot of talent that could play at the NBA level, but not too many like this. Not too many like him. Like, you don't see too many teams with guards on their bench at the point guard spot who are as well-rounded on both sides of the ball as he is. Like, blocking J Huff's shot, who's 7'1" out of the air. He's 6'3" without fouling him. Like, you don't see that. You don't see that from some starters. So I knew he was going to be doing this. I knew he was ready for the moment when he got it. And the King made a great point too, because I don't think anybody thought the opportunity would be so clear so quickly the way it was because of how many injuries we had. So that's a fair point. I did think it was going to come down to him and Sasser. Once we got Karras, and once I heard what Trajan had said continuously is like, I want optionality and versatility and size on in our backcourt. When I heard that, I'm like, well, Sass is not a point guard. So even if he played point, he'd still be kind of on the small side, but he's a shooting guard. We already got shooting guards with size who can play defense. I just didn't see a path for him, but I did see a path for Dennis because we don't have as many natural, pure point guards. So that I thought it was going to come down. Me and King talked about this. I thought it was going to come down to those two guys. Once we got Karras, I'm like, maybe Trajan is trying to tell us something without telling us something. Is that as far as what he's looking for? And we saw last year when J.I. got hurt, and before we got Schroeder, Cade was the only true point, and he was playing 40 minutes a game, and he was just getting run to the ground. That was what I thought Dennis might have a role because Sass is not a true point, and Dennis is. That was the thing for me. So I'm not surprised that he's doing what he's doing. It's encouraging to see that he's ready for this, 100% ready for this moment, and he never looks like bright lights and crunch time of big games against solid teams, and you're part of the reason why we win. Like, he's the game winner of the game tying three, and he followed that up with a half court three. Yeah. And he's just continued to have a great assist turnover ratio, under control, playing on ball, getting K easy buckets, like just being versatile, being a commit. Like, I'm just happy for him, bro. I'm really happy for him that he, like you said, King, got the opportunity, and then when he got it, took advantage of it.
If you could ever play Eminem Lose Yourself for somebody's background, it's him, bro.
It's him.
A perfect guy.
You only get one shot. Yes. I like that. I like that. That's a perfect way to put that, for sure. So shout out to him, man. Anybody else on that?
I was just going to mention his amazing block yesterday on J Huff. Like,
yeah.
I know that we know that he can play both ways, that he gives his all on defense. I mean, that was just incredible. Like,
that was insane, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Hold on. Just in case anybody didn't see it. That's insane, man.
Oh, beautiful.
You muted again, bro. What you say?
Just point out how careful Ivey dunked that ball.
I know.
So that's the difference what we was talking about earlier. Yeah. Ivey in a different situation would have broke the basketball.
Yeah, and been wailing and howling. You're right.
Tobias,
you're right.
Put down for sure.
Right, the respectful dunk you always talk about. E.
Very polite with it.
Real quick, the Rock Never Stop says, I'm playing Dennis Jenkins over Karras LeVert all day. He plays both ends at a high level, and our team looks so much better when running the show. I'm not mad at that, bro, because he's a pure point. He's a pure point. You know, I'm not mad at that at all. I feel like he plays off Cade better, too, to be honest. Personally.
Seen it enough.
True, he does. I'm not.
Can't really go. They're both good. Go ahead, King.
They're both good. And at this point of the season, I would see why someone would say that. I got to see it against teams with their guards available.
Okay.
In the later part of the season, because in a playoff situation, you probably want to go with the veteran.
Right.
But if he proves to continue to keep overlapping these things, you know,
Gotcha.
like I said, I can definitely see that, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure, man. So we'll see. But great comment for sure. All right, guys, let's run through these last few ones, man, and then we'll call it a night. So let's go Javonte Green. Boss, who you got? What you got for Javonte? A?
Yeah.
Not mad. King?
I give him an A. Like I said, I didn't expect him to be who he is. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got a problem with that.
Yeah. Eve, any?
A is fair. He's given his staple moments of the season so far. You know, been a great energy guy, great culture fit. Yeah, I think an A is fair for him.
Yeah, I think an A is fair too, man. I mean, nobody expected he would be doing this. So since that's what it's based off of, he's exceeded my expectations 1,000 times over. So for sure. All right. Let's go Isaiah Stewart, guys. Boss, who would you give Isaiah Stewart so far?
A. A for his defense. I know that he has a little more. He's coming off of some injuries, but yeah. And he's also just really, we talked about last game, like he really kept his temper. There's been some times and I think he's doing better about also not getting in foul trouble. He learns he's not falling for pump fakes. He's just doing Stu things. He's still second in the league at blocks per game. So
yeah. King?
I'm gonna go B+. Stu, if you listening, brethren, I'm not giving you an A until you shoot some mid-rangers. I want more mid-rangers.
On the mid-rangers for 2 years.
I want some mid-rangers. I still see him in opportunities like, man, shoot the ball.
I know.
He look for somebody and pass it. Just shoot it.
Yeah.
He had it his rookie year. I don't know what happened. It fell off after his rookie year.
Me and King went to a game and saw him knock down 15 straight middies in 3-game warm-ups, bro.
Yeah, he had
with
it
ease.
for sure.
Yeah. Go ahead, E. What would you give?
He went. I give him a B+, A-. Yeah, I want to see the maturity and the wherewithal, you know, kind of be consistent with him. Yeah, he's definitely doing better with staying out of foul trouble. He's fouled a couple times and has, you know, picked up sometimes some kind of dumb fouls that he doesn't need, like blocking out or whatnot. But he's a table setter. He's a guy that's, you know, one of those foundational pieces. I think a B+ is fair for him.
I gave him an A just because of I see how much he's able to affect JD and help keep JD on the floor defensively. I was gonna give him an A+, but he fouled J Huff on that 3 last night. I said, nah, I gotta give you an A now, bro. I was mad about that play. Like, why you fouling him out there? Yeah. But yeah, just the impact he's had as far as helping JD has been huge. Yeah, and they've been, like I said, they've been the best defensive unit, part of the best defensive 5 when they start together, when they play together. So that tells me a lot. A lot of people wonder, can they play together? Will they work? We haven't really seen. Yeah, yes, they can. For how we like to play, yes. Yeah, he's been great. So I'll give him an A. All right, let's go. Karis LeVert. What would you guys give Karis LeVert? Boss, you lead it off.
I think he's had, like, off the top of my head, 3 good games this season, in and out with foul trouble. I'll give him a B because I know what LeVert can do. I think he's starting to get more comfortable and he's showing it. But right now, like, a lot of fans even, they didn't understand why he was signed. And I feel like he is still yet to show that completely. But I know what he's capable of. And I think he's just going to get better, especially after last night. And we talked about it. Like, I love his randomness. The pivot foot never moves. Like, he's going to do the splits one of these days, the way that he's moving around the court. And he's fine. He's figuring it out still. But he was really clutch yesterday. And yeah. And I know he can do better with free throws. I think his free throws have been a little off this season compared to other ones.
They're saluting you in the chat for being
all of my grades have been very fair.
Crisis is crazy.
Right. All right, what you got, King?
I'm gonna give him a B. Obviously because he's still finding his game right now.
Yeah.
But we know what he is. He was brung here for the playoffs. You know, he was brung here for late season. I mean, just his career. We know what he's capable of. But keeping him on the court is important for the Pistons too.
Yep.
Keeping him healthy. And like I said, for the limited amount of games that we did get to watch him, I would expect him to get his footing up under. I remember a player in Duncan Robinson after his first game Twitter was ready to burn down the arena, saying, "Why did we go and get him?" So, like I said, sometimes these veterans, it's going to take them a couple of games to get into their game, being older, like him and Tobias, the unction.
The unction. I'm screaming.
But yeah, we know what he is, man.
We said the same thing about the vets last year when they started off slow, right? Everybody was panicking when Tobias didn't start off fast, when Malik was decent, right? When THJ would start off slow, out of position, they were like, "Oh, that's why we bring him here." So it's the same kind of thing. You got to give these guys time. Go ahead, boss.
I just had to say real quick too. I think a huge thing that JB's doing is pushing his minutes with Duncan Robinson. Like Duncan was in a lot of the second unit minutes as well yesterday. I think it's because eventually those guys are probably going to play together on the second unit, and they with Michigan exactly. So, exactly. I'm like, that's why So I think they just really thrive off of each other, and I feel like that was another big reason that because I told you I was questioning his second lineup a little bit because it seemed very small. I think that's why, because he's like, well, let's get these guys minutes, and Karras had a great game. So
yeah, okay. What you got, Ivey?
I'm gonna go to B as well. The scoring kind of comes and goes. His health is definitely a concern. It seems like he's always kind of knick-knacked and injured. But I do like his effort defensively that we've seen so far. I really like his assistance as a ball handler, bringing the ball up. I think they need a lot more of that. I like that we haven't seen a lot of Cade, just strictly him bringing the ball up, being the initiator. We've seen a lot of off-ball Cade Cunningham this season, and I think Karras has helped out a lot with that. He's had some good games for him, and I think he can be better, especially like King said, you have guys like him for late in the postseason to finish off the regular season strong and get ready for the important time. So, I'll give him a B so far.
Question, Deuce.
What's up?
Before we get into the comment,
were
we kind of like at this stage with Dennis Schroeder when he first got here? Like, why did we bring him here? You see what I'm saying? Like, at first when Dennis Schroeder got here, he didn't take off like that,
right?
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, okay,
That's
Dennis
true.
Schroeder is here, and it's like, okay, he's here. And
it's not J.I.
Right?
That's what we're saying. It's not J.I., but all right.
We started to see more and more of the worth of why we went and got him. Well, I think that's what you're going to get out of JB Bickerstaff, because that's a JB Bickerstaff signing, by the way.
Exactly.
I think that's what we're going to get out of JB Bickerstaff, to say, hey, this is why I brung him here. Situations, he knows what I want right now. He knows how to settle this situation down. We'll see that later, eventually in the season.
That's exactly what I said last night. Me and Boss were talking about that on the show. That's exactly what I said last night. I'm going to comment on what you just said, King. I'm going to get to this comment. Right near the top says, Karras LeVert gets the B+. He is a solid vet who we know what he is, a bucket with good positional size, but lacks defense or reliable health. The reliable health piece, I think maybe so. I don't think he lacks defense, though. I think one thing you actually mentioned, bro, was the difference between a strong defender and a wing defender. I think he's somewhere in between. I think he's an average defender, but when he gives effort, he can be above average. Right? We saw him making a lot of effort plays yesterday. And once again, for me, I'm looking at where he came from as a player, all the way back to Michigan. King, I know you followed him way back there too. Even you did too, probably Boss did too. We remember him not playing defense, but being a bucket, so it didn't matter for a long time. Even when he came into the NBA, he wasn't a strong defender. He said himself that he wasn't really demanded ever in his career to play defense until he came and played with Cleveland, with Coach. And he credits himself being the best player he ever has been now because of that. So it's like seeing where he came from an effort standpoint, and then seeing where he is now is leaps and bounds. It's like night and day. Night and day. I was never seeing him diving for loose balls before. He was not even committing to the defense in that way. So for me, I'll give him a solid B for sure. Go ahead, King.
You on fire, man, because obviously I'm an avid Michigan fan. I haven't seen him play defense since Michigan.
Right.
I haven't seen him diving for the ball on the floor, being that wild, loosey-goosey player since Michigan. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody can bring some extra oomph out of him, is JB Bickerstaff.
Facts.
Like, you got to look at the entire team. Like, everybody is exceeding expectations on this team right now. And that's credit to Coach, who he just does not get enough credit.
Coach of the year for the next 10 years, just because of this year.
Already, yes.
We were wondering why, when Cleveland was good, and why they were that good, and why the backcourt was that good and everything else. And then they made the same idiot mistake that a lot of franchises do. They fired him like he was the problem instead of Donovan Mitchell being lazy. But anyway, thank you.
Preaching.
Thank you, Cleveland.
Appreciate it.
No, you're preaching right now, because we've seen how the defense has fell off a cliff since he has left. They didn't want to be held accountable. They didn't want to do the things he was asking them to do. We got guys that do, and that's the difference. That's why the defensive mindset left with him, and we have it now. So
they can't rebound. They are just really weird right now.
They got talented guys, but they're not really being held accountable. Don't seem like.
Talent
to me, they're more focused on having fun than winning. Go ahead, King.
It doesn't look like they're even having fun.
Talent only gets you so far.
Facts.
Yeah.
Go ahead, boss.
I was gonna say they don't even look like they're having fun. It's like the Donovan Mitchell show over there. He has to, they call Cade, when Cade takes over and stuff, but he's at least trying to get his teammates involved. Donovan Mitchell's just throwing up threes, and I mean he's hitting them. He's a great offensive player.
Right.
But when you have guys when you have Mobley and Allen, there's no reason why. There's no reason why you shouldn't be top of defense, top of everything, top of rebounds with those guys. But whatever they're doing, they look much more lackadaisical this season. Just
for sure.
By on the back of their star.
Facts. So, hey, thank you. Like King said, thank you guys. We appreciate it. Christmas came early. Let's go ahead and move on to our next guy here. Let's go to Ron. We got 3 more guys. So let's go to Ron Holland. And we'll start with you, boss. What grade would you give Ron Holland up to this point?
I don't want to be tough on him, but he had a really good game yesterday with defense and stuff.
Just say it. Tough love is good sometimes.
But just because I know he can do more and I know he wants to do more because you can see that he's frustrated out there, I'll give him a C because I know that he's playing pretty average right now for what we know he can do. And also he knows what he can do. Like he's getting frustrated out there too. But yesterday I really liked, and we talked about it, that he, wasn't trying to get the ball to the basket. He didn't take any shots. He had no shot attempts. He just focused on defense. And he was able to fire us up that way, with the jump balls and everything. So I'm hoping just more of that. If I see that consistently, then he's going to be within the next week. And then, but that's what I do with Ron.
Okay. What you got, King?
I'm going to give him a C+. And the reason being because it's been moments that it's just like I'm at the TV. I'm like Ron.
Yeah.
Like, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You're doing too much. You're wild. You got to calm down, bring it down a little bit. But defensively, I definitely been pleased. Defensively, loose balls. Like I said, the jump ball situation last game, he was getting on everybody's nerves.
I love it.
That type
Go
of
ahead.
I love that from Ron. But offensively, I did see some moments this season where he should have shot the ball and he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see him attack the basket more, man. Like I say, you get the basketball, attack the basket, use your athleticism, the same stuff that we were saying last season, attack a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Either you're going to make the shot, it's going to get blocked, or somebody going to foul you. One or the other. Take the chance, bro, when you're out there on the court offensively. I don't think people want to deal with that athleticism that he has if he attacks the basket a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What you got, E?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a C as well. I think he's done some good things. He's getting confident with his catch and shoot from 3. I think he's getting a lot of looks where he's confident, letting it rain from outside. But I'm with King. I'm a little disappointed where he's been with his offensive creation because when Cade was out and when they had a lot of injuries, I thought what Dennis was doing, we were going to see a little bit from Ron. I thought we were going to see him being a little bit more of the initiator. And I even asked JB about that. I'm like, he's been up and down in terms of from Summer League, he's the number 1 guy. Regular season, he's a spark plug. Injuries are here, and he's trying to get his shot going, but it's just not really flowing right now. Luckily, it haven't needed it to, but I thought we were going to see a little bit more from him at this point. I don't know if it's maybe just the attempts or the consistency's not there, but he just hasn't really stepped up how I thought he would in terms of his offensive creation. But he's been okay so far. I think he'll get better as the season goes on. Really initiating on defense, and I'm really encouraged by that. He just does what they need him to do to win and play good basketball. He's not forcing much, and I appreciate that. So I'll give him a C for right now.
Okay. I think Ron is in a tough spot. Even with just, the overall perception, he came in, nobody really knew him. Like when we drafted him, nobody really knew who he was. I know I didn't. I didn't really know who Ron Holland was in depth before he got here. And then he takes off and has a very, surprising year based off what we thought he was going to do. Cause I didn't really know his game. So for him to do what he did, what he showed me, from the expectation level being here and to go here, it's like, wow, so now I'm like, okay, next year, what you got? But to me, I feel like Javonte Green has played better than him, but not a full grade better than him. Like we're giving Javonte A's easily, and we're saying Ron Holland is C. I think a lot of that is this expectation level. Our expectation level for Javonte was here. We didn't expect anything really, as far as even rotational minutes. Ron was here. So when Javonte does this, and then Ron does this, it's like, okay, why are you not doing this? So I just feel like from the place they started from, at least for me, is what made it seem like, wow, like Ron is not playing well. He didn't make the jump that we thought he'd make, like with his jumper. We saw it in Summer League, and it's not translating the way we want it to yet. But I still think it's coming along. I just think the expectation level that we have for him compared to a guy like Javonte, at least for me, could be kind of affecting the grade, because it's like they're not that much apart, A and C. You know, Javonte's better. Like you trust him more in late games and things like that. But I think they're a little bit closer than 2 full grades. And I think a big part of that is because of where they came from and how they finished with the expectation level coming into this season. That's just me. I could be wrong, but y'all weigh in.
I agree with that completely. But also, just while we're talking about Javonte, what a great vet for Ron to have.
For sure. For sure.
Years.
100%.
It just takes, lots of no's from him because, again, not everything's reflected in the box score, but Javonte's defense is just on par.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just exciting for Ron. So this is another great bring in for these young guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Go ahead, King.
I think it's definitely based on expectations. I think what it is, what a lot of people are seeing is Ron looks similar to what he did last year, but the jump shot is a little bit more improved. Well, let's put our coach's hat on for a second, right?
Okay.
When you have a player and you have him solely focused on improving his jump shot, sometimes in this league, you see that player regress in certain areas a little bit.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
He's so focused on being in the corner and knocking down shots when available. I don't think he's really had that time to work on attacking the basket like we would expect him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You would expect, hey, it's another year. We want to see another aspect of your game immediately as fans. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, when you're that focused on improving a part of your game, we got to be fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in and give him a B+. We got to be fair because, like I said, it's part of his mentality too as a young player, because obviously he's still a young player. His mentality too is I got to attack the basket, bro. Yeah, I'm shooting the threes, I'm knocking them, I'm taking the shots when they give it to me, but I got to go get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my thing for Ron. Ron, attack the basket, bro. You're too athletic. You're too talented to not be. For me, my expectations of Ron Holland is offensively Jaden Ivey-ish type of player with better defense. And I'm not talking about he moves like Jaden Ivey. I'm talking
maybe
about
not so much offense.
Yeah, somebody who can slash to the basket at times.
Got you.
With athleticism and authority. Somebody who can take a shot from the 3-point from the corner here and there, but at the same time he's better defensively. You know what I'm saying? That's where
fair.
I see him going as a player.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, to not see him attack the basket as much so far this season is the reason why. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people are like that.
I think that's fair. Let's get to a couple super chats. We got Court Chronicles. Appreciate you, brother, for sure. The right never stops. Come back around. Appreciate you, my dog. He says Ron Holland could benefit from time in the G League, getting 30 minutes per game to find his rhythm and confidence. What are y'all thoughts on that?
I would.
Do y'all feel like?
I don't like that. I mean, going to the G League, Killian just had 31 the other night in G League, bro.
Did he?
I hate that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to the G League. I want to see the coaching staff get in his ear and say, hey, I need this from you. You know what I'm saying? Because right now I think he's trying to figure out offensively, not what he's supposed to do defensively. He knows who he is. Okay. Offensively, I think he's trying to figure out how do I fit with the components that's on the court right now.
Well, I have a question for King now, because you wanted to drive to the basket more, but there was a couple games where he was doing that and just wasn't completing, and then
I felt like it was forced.
He was forcing that a lot. It was like he was trying to get his offense going. Go ahead, King.
Coach staff got to put him in a better situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put a lot on the coaching staff. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't put him out here with this player and that player, and then say go figure it out. Don't do that to players. I hate when that happens. And that's what I felt like when I saw, those couple of instances. So I want to see him be
Even with I would even times with him too, though. Like, I think you're right about the coaching, but I would see sometimes him just kind of trying to take it upon himself to get his offense going when his pacing was just not. We talk about Jaden Ivey and his pacing his first couple of years. It wasn't what it is now. I think Ron's kind of going through that too. He knows he's athletic. He knows he can get to the cup, but it's not always the right play to make at that time. And that's why he comes up short, it comes up long. And how come it didn't make that, bro? It wasn't a good shot at the right time, bro. Like, we know you can do it, but not every time down. So I think that's a big part of it too. He's got to learn. He's got to learn that pacing. It's year 2, man. Year 2.
Yeah. I'm just curious if those couple games back to back is what's led him to just focus more on defense.
Facts.
Yeah,
but like he said, if you want to see him do it, then I mean, he's going to have opportunities. One of these games is going to be where he's hitting on both ends of the court for sure.
Yep. If
they were losing a lot more, I could see him maybe, spending some time in the G League, or if they weren't in the position they're in now. Mm-hmm. Considering they're winning, considering a lot of the other young guys are taking steps forward, you just need him to kind of be a spark plug at certain times. And we've seen the Pistons get off to slow first quarters, slow for second quarters, and then Ron comes in and turns the tide with a steal. So just those little plays are kind of enough to, not only say they outweigh the negatives and the struggles he's had, but they've turned the tide in moments that they've needed it too. So yeah, he's been very important, even in the times where he's been a little bit.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that's fair, bro. Court Chronicle says maturation process for Ron. That's all it's going on right now. Every young player has had to endure this at some point in their career. I say let the process do what it does. Yeah, like we know he's a really good defender already. I just think the bar was kind of set high for him because he was so surprising. He had so surprising of a rookie season after not having expectation. It's kind of like the way Javonte is this year, where nobody really expected him to do anything, and he does this. It's kind of like what Ron was last year as a rookie. Okay, yeah. Like most fans were just tired of getting number 5th pick. So they were kind of exhausted with that. It's like, okay, cool, we'll check him out. But for him to do what he did, now it's like, because even next year, the bar for Javonte Green is going to go up next year as opposed to the start of this year because of what he's done. So I think that's a big part of it too. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. All right, guys, almost there. Let's go Paul Reed, boss, and then we'll go one more guy, we'll call it. So let's go Paul Reed. What grade would you give Paul Reed?
Just an A, of course, for his attitude, the way he plays. I mean, whatever minutes Paul Reed plays, he doesn't play enough. He's one of my favorite guys. So I'm a little biased with him, but he's just, I mean, the hustle is always there. Always there. Full court pressure all the time. Always under the rim for rebounds. Finishing. His confidence. When he missed those 2 free throws in the Wizards game, I think it was, and he said, he tweeted, I'm going to go shoot 1,000 free throws, and then he made the next 2 that when he was called upon.
Yeah.
Just a guy, and his Instagram stories are always like just putting in work, going to improve. It's just cool to see. This is our 3rd string big, and he took the offseason as a chance to get bigger and better. That's just speaks to mindset. Yep. So I just love everything about B-Ball Paul. So that's your guy. He's a pass. He's a pass right away. So for me.
Yeah, I ain't mad. What you got, King?
I'm gonna give him. First of all, let me say this. We gotta watch that Andre Drummond clip, bro.
Oh, word! It's like that.
It ain't like it's just funny. It's hilarious.
All right, I'll pull it up. Y'all keep talking.
But B-Ball Paul, yeah, I'm gonna definitely give him an A, man, because this is the B-Ball Paul that I thought we were getting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We brung him here without that jump shot. Stop shooting that 3 B-Ball.
Man, he knocking it down though, bro. It's balling. It's ugly. You know what's funny? You know what's funny, bro? Okay, I'm gonna take y'all back down memory lane real quick. Like watching the bench when he shoots it, when it goes. Do y'all remember that old school game? We weren't around for it, but I'm sure y'all watched it. When the Hawks were playing, Dominique Wilkins Hawks were playing Larry Bird's Celtics, and Larry Bird went on a tear. He was making shots from everywhere, behind the backboard, and you would just see the bench like every time. Like, how did that go in? Like the Hawks bench. Like, that's what I look at when B-Ball Paul shoots it. I've seen a few times when he's letting it go, the opposing team's benches is going like this as he's letting it go. Yeah. Like, yes, he's shooting it, and it goes in. They're like it's just, it's hilarious, bro. It's so. Huh? Yeah, he be pissing them off because they don't think he can shoot just because his form isn't, orthodox. This is hilarious to me.
Yeah, same.
Let me put that. Go ahead, keep talking, King. Keep talking.
Nah, I'm just messing with him, man. Like I said, he's been, more than solid for us.
For sure.
He's dealing with all those injuries, man. To see him have that type of performance and go and get 30 for you, man. What more can you ask for? Your 3rd big on your team, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
things getting cheap.
Gotta give him an A.
Yeah. Let's move to E. Vinny.
Yeah, B-Ball Paul deserves an A. he reminds me of an 04 Pistons so much. Like when they brought in Eldon Campbell, you may not lean on him for 20 minutes, but you know every minute he does play, he's going to make an impact. He reminds me of an 04 Pistons so much. I love watching the way he plays. He's a break the glass kind of guy. Like, again, when you need some energy, where you really need to get the team going, he's one of the guys that you can always rely on to kind of change the energy in the room. So, yeah, B-Ball Paul has been a saving grace for this team, even with the sparing minutes that he does play. Yeah. Definite A for B-Ball Paul.
I agree, man. I mean, the way he's like, just the jump from last year to this year has been impressive. And like, once again, taking care of his body. You know, we talked about all last year as far as in the playoffs, you know, not having Stu and he had to be that second guy. It was tough for him. Like, he wasn't getting bullied or anything like that, but you saw him getting moved off of spots here and there, wasn't able to secure position. But he's a lot bigger this year. He's a lot stronger this year. And he's a lot more imposing in that paint. So I think just him taking care of his body and then taking advantage of when guys are out. I mean, when Stu was out, he had a 28-point game against starters. So he's answered the question as far as being that third big. Like, he's showing against starters that he can go and get it done. So I definitely like what I've seen from him. I give him an A as well. All right, guys, let's pull up that video that King was talking about. And let's see if we can check that out. Because let's see. Do we have it? Can y'all see it? No, I don't see it yet. Hold on. We got it yet? No, not yet. It's not letting me do it. It's not letting me pull it up.
It must be bad.
It must be bad. That's crazy.
Like, nah, we can't put it up.
Wow.
I just thought that Suggs was ejected because he came up and pushed Andre, I guess. And then just for an update on the score, the Magic, it's 121-83. Oh, here's the video.
Y'all got it? Can we see it? Okay, cool.
But
let's check it out real quick.
Yeah. So watch here. Drummond, Carter, Drummond, Carter.
He ain't flinch.
And then Carter just says, really?
It did Suggs. Like,
what are we doing here? And then Jalen Suggs, the football player at heart, came out right there, ready to get after it if need be. You saw how quickly Jamal.
I'm gonna give Wendell Carter credit, bro. He didn't flinch, bro. I gotta give him credit for that. He didn't flinch.
That's how I be feeling about all them players. Like, bro, stop trying to fight. You don't fight. You don't fight. You're a basketball player. That's not what you do, man. Play basketball.
It's a few guys in the league who you know who bout it. But
one of them are on our team. They have a reputation already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The guys that's really about that life. But
no, that's a fact.
I'm like, bro, just play ball. Like,
that's a fact.
I'm gonna be weak. Andre still follows me on Twitter, and I don't want to lose that anytime soon. So I'm gonna keep my connection line. Shout out to Dre, still holding his own there, big dog.
Hey, we got your back, Dre.
We still got your love for you.
I'm always gonna be a Dre. Yeah, of course.
No matter what your hair looks like, no matter what your squabble upstairs looks like, we got you, Dre.
That was
bro, get it braided, bro. Please, come on, man.
No, man, he been playing well. Wild hair drumming, man. Just like back in the day.
I love it. Yeah, he was like that back in the day. He was all brace face and everything. Yeah. Making all-star games because we're crazy. All right, man. Thanks for sharing that with us, King. That was some nice comedy for sure. Let's get to our last guy and we'll call it a night, guys. Let's get to Chaz Lanier. So, boss, what would you give Chaz Lanier based off what we've seen from him so far? Hasn't been a ton, huge sample size, but what have you seen from him so far?
That's my incomplete.
Incomplete? Okay. He's played some games though. He's played a little bit though. I feel like at least 5 or 6 games. He feel like he's played.
So I guess I mean, for me, it's just hard because his best game was the last game he had actual real minutes, which was a week and a half ago, and he played great. I think his defense is good. I don't know. For me, I'm just like that hasn't been consistent enough. I feel like they put him in the beginning of the season. He wasn't hitting because he needs the reps, get used to it. And then we didn't see him for a while, and then we saw him in some garbage time, and then we saw him in some real time. I think his shot has gotten a lot better with the because his release is so fast. And so I think that he's finally warming up there, but then we haven't seen him again. So I mean, for me, I guess I just don't know. I can't make a judgment on him because it's not fair because I feel like I haven't seen him in enough time. He might have played multiple games, but 2 over 5 minutes.
Right. Okay. I think that's fair. What you got, King?
Yeah, I give him like a C+B. Limited time out there. That one game that she was talking about, he had a really, really good performance. But like I said, it's just seeing him as a NBA player for me is where I need to get to. Like sometimes I still see college player when I watch him. Even though he knocks down shots, I'm talking about the way he moves through the offense.
Okay.
I don't know if that's more of the way that they have him playing right now or not, but there's times where he's out there on the court and I wouldn't even realize he's out there on the court. So I want him to make himself known a little bit more. Like I said, that one game, he definitely made himself known.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he's a rookie with limited time out there. So it's kind of unfair for me to really, what I'm saying? But eventually I want to see Chaz take a step and say, hey, I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I see what guys like Dennis Jenkins is doing with this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I want, when I get the ball at 3-point line, you better come running.
Right.
And that's what I want to see eventually down the line. But right now, it's not enough to measure.
Couple quick comments. We'll get to Ivey. I'll give Chaz a C+. He got the belt. Chaz has been solid but unspectacular. C+, A for his role, says Dante. He did lap the Bucks, says make a hustle. That is true. So yeah, I think bosses, hit it on it too as far as just getting the reps opportunity. And King saying the same thing. E, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, I think I'd probably give him around a C+. He, to me, is somebody I think that would benefit from some G League minutes. I think he needs to be a little bit more comfortable. I don't know how much opportunity he's going to get. For Dennis, it made sense for him to be playing a little bit more. Chaz, granted, it makes a little bit of sense, but for right now, based on what they're doing, especially adding Jaden Ivey back, I don't know how much time and opportunity he's really going to get right now. And I don't think you want to call on him, in this kind of push where they're playing so well right now. But yeah, he's had some good moments. Shot looks really impressive, even when it doesn't go in. There's a couple games where he did a really good job, scooping some offensive rebounds to keep possessions alive. He's still finding his way. Again, I think, it's going to come and go in terms of his opportunity, but, he's still finding his way and doing what he got to do right now.
Okay. I'm going to give him a B-. I'm going to give him a B-. It is not because of anything in objection to what you guys said, but I look at his defense, man. Defensively, like King, you made a good point. And it's interesting how, if you look at it from a different perspective, you said there were times out there when you noticed he wasn't on the court. I think a big part of that is because defensively, you didn't see him making a lot of mistakes. It was like, Chaz, what are you doing? He got your attention now. You don't really see that too often with him. He doesn't have too many defensive mistakes. And he goes all out on defense as well. He played for Rick Barnes at Tennessee in college. A lot like Bickerstaff, if you don't play defense, you're not playing. So he learned that mentality early. So for me, just how he's been able to be solid defensively already as a rookie at this level, that's impressive for me. That's impressive for me. He's got the mindset and he's got the IQ defensively to be able to hold his own and not get exposed on the defensive side. Offensively, he's got a ways to go. We know that for sure. But defensively, he's shown me a lot as a rookie. And that's why I give him a B-.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
And I thought the same thing that you did with King, because we've talked about it before too. Like when you don't notice someone, it's almost good. And so that's what I thought about his D as well. But I'm just looking forward to more. I would like it's just hard because I want to give them more opportunities, but that position, the offense, like the shooters, we got a lot of them.
Yeah, we didn't even mention him earlier as far as the guards. That's crazy.
Right, so I agree. I agree completely. Honestly, with the G League, because he did really well in summer league, but he had Zakai Ziegler, right?
Yeah, Zeitler,
right? Yeah, that was his fellow Vol. So I think they played well off of each other. So I just think with more reps with whoever is the point, whether it's Cade, it's Danis. I think that he did do well with Danis on the court because they were in there for that with the Wizards game and stuff. That's the game I remember most from too. But
okay. That is it for the grades, guys, and that is it for this show. Anything, boss, that you wanted to get to before we call it a night, before we call it quits?
No, I'll just say the Magic are up by 40. So
oh my God.
We're gonna it's just Anthony Black and Wagner, and then there's really no offensive production on the Sixers. Watford got injured with an oblique, so he's out for them. Too bad all their money's in Embiid and George, but
right.
But
all right.
And also, if you guys want to catch some ball, the Clippers-Lakers game starts in 45 minutes. That's how late the game is. So
oh wow.
tonight if you want to catch that one.
Sheesh.
Or for what it's worth, if you watch college ball, I don't know if y'all have been watching that, but Michigan they balling.
They balling?
And right now they up 87-60 against Auburn. So
I ain't gonna lie, I've not been tapped into Michigan Wolverine basketball lately. But if you're saying they hooping,
they worth watching this year.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it. Y'all go check it out, man, for sure. I will definitely be doing that tonight for sure. So listen, guys, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for almost 3 hours now. It's been a great show. I appreciate y'all hanging with us as well. We're going to do this again soon in the future. But in the meantime, guys, make sure you guys go check out and are subscribed to all of these smart people right here on the screen. Follow them or subscribe to them on YouTube. Go sub to Eric over at Top Title Detroit. My boy's doing some major things. You can also catch his articles, clutch points articles for the Pistons. They are great stuff. So make sure you guys go check them out. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm always retweeting and reposting them. So you guys can check it out with the link that I put in there. Go check out his work, man. Great work. And also go sub to King at Everything King, the YouTuber OG for sure, doing his thing. And tap in with Boss at Sarah Boss as well. So if you guys look directly under this video, hit that button for your boy as well.
Your Twitter page still going up, Boss?
A little bit. I haven't been on it.
Okay.
Yes.
I like seeing you when you
get
put
on Twitter.
on.
You got to get. I'm about to start tagging you and stuff.
I got it. And I was like,
She just started getting going.
Do it. I was like, I'm gonna be more involved. And then I remember texting Eric being like, is it always this negative? Always this mean? Like he's
It's not for the faint.
Gosh, I don't want to
even when they're winning, yes.
You have the I'm gonna say this, you have the most smartest special cases on Twitter that you will ever find.
I've noticed. I gotta be better about it. It's a new social media for me. I've never had it in my life. So still learning it. Yeah, I'll get there.
Well, you love sports and you love basketball. Athletes go to Twitter first before they go to anything.
That's a fact.
And I've heard that that's where you get all the breaking news. I've asked Deuce like, well, do we know if this plane? He's like, yeah, they tweeted it 20 minutes ago. I was like, oh, okay, good to know. So
yeah,
I'll get there.
So any of you toxic Twitter X users in here, make sure y'all go follow Boss at Sarah Basketball with an O. Go follow Eric at I am Eric Vincent. Go follow King at Everything King. Same handles for Instagram as well. So y'all make sure y'all go tap in with all of us, man. We appreciate all of you guys. Well, listen, man, it's been a fun night. We hope you guys are safe and have a great night. The Pistons are back to work tomorrow, and we are going to be here with you guys post-game to cover that. So we appreciate you guys. Be safe. Have a great night. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of King9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear you're ashamed. Talking that chop, you must want this way. If the dog palm, mess around, find out, If the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're ready for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better cough a hill, cause I'm like that.